been crazy. It's been a crazy few days here. I don't know about you, but for me it has.
It's been crazy, but I've accomplished a lot.
Oh, that's awesome. I mailed out almost all my packages today, this morning. It's only 9:45 here, so
Good. I had a lot of fun doing your labels last night.
how many? You must have done crazy labels. How many did you do? A lot.
I have no idea.
Okay, I can't tell if we're live. I mean, it says we're live, but I can't tell. Let me just go to my YouTube channel and see if we are. Yeah, we are. Okay, let me see if I can open it up and let me see if I can. Why will it not let me? You know, this is what you get when you don't stream enough, or you go to, you know what I mean, when you're doing your live or whatever. You go,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, when you're doing your. There you go. All right, now I got it. Yay! Hi, Deb. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Shelley's Brookview. Hey, welcome. So Gina and I are gonna, I don't know, Gina and I are gonna do some fun things today. I don't know, just paint and hang out. And I'm gonna put the link to Jean's channel. If you give me a second. And Jean, can you put the link to your channel? If not, I have to go. Let me see if I can get it in there.
I am, but I have to go into YouTube to do it.
Oh, no, never mind. I can do it. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to put the link into Jean's channel. So you guys go over and subscribe to Jean. You're going to love what she makes. She is an amazing artist. Let me see if I can find out why. You know, like sometimes life just doesn't give you what you need as far as like dealing with the electronics. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Stephens. How are you? So tomorrow, you guys, they're having an impromptu, I don't know if I'm supposed to announce it or not, but an impromptu art auction for textiles. So tomorrow, you guys, they're having an impromptu, I don't know if I'm supposed to announce it or not, but why am I now?
That was me.
I'm like, I don't have anything open. I'll put your link in there. Just give me a second. Hi, Mitt. So you guys that have saved your pennies up, which I have not been one of them. Hey, Vicky, girl, I can so relate to what you're going through. Your insomnia, that's my life every day. Today I was awake at like 3 a.m. It was so ridiculous. And I can relate. So tomorrow it's going to be on Claire's channel. Am I right, Jan?
Uh-huh.
So if you guys aren't subscribed to Claire's channel, go over and subscribe to her channel. She is having a textile auction, you know, like all those things that we all love. Today I'm going to probably print on book pages. That's what I'm doing. That's my crafty moment. And it is murder waiting to happen. Oh, I can so relate. Oh my God, Vicky, I can so relate. We're talking. Vicky has had insomnia, and like she finds herself up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, me too. You know, it's ridiculous, but anyway, I'm going to put your link. So you guys go over and join Jean's channel. She does a lot of live impromptus and shares some stuff. And anyway, you'll learn a lot. And one of my favorite artists.
Aww.
You are. I love everything you make. And I still haven't. Have you ever sewn together that Tisha Moore style bag or inspired bag? I haven't done it.
Here's some of the things I have for tomorrow.
Wait, let me just put it on you. I gotta get this StreamYard control room thing down. I'm not so okay. Go for it. Show it. Oh wait, I put it on the wrong person. Wait, how do I just put it on you? Oh,
okay.
No. How do I do it? Tell me.
You should have
I see
on my frame. There you go.
Woohoo! I found it. Sorry.
I have all colors of crocheted dishcloths.
You made those?
No. It's all my yarn, but my girlfriend here in town did that. Look at this one. If you look at the pattern in it.
Oh, I love it. It's
Isn't
beautiful.
that cool? I didn't notice that till I looked on the screen. This is just a sampling of them.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Yeah, she does pretty good work. I'm impressed. The ones I've used have held up, and she's using up all my cotton yarn, so I don't have to waste it.
Oh,
Let
that's
the
awesome.
weather wear it out or whatever.
You know, those make such great gifts. Hi, Tilda. Those make such great gifts. I have some that my great aunt made for my mom when she was getting married. Now, my mother's passed away. My mother would be in her 90s if she was still alive. So I have some that are well over 100 years old or more, probably because they were probably maybe they're 75 years old because my mom, I think, got married in her 20s. So, yep, they last a long time and they're awesome.
Yeah, I love them. That's all I use. That's all I use.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're so awesome. So I should really do my research on how to use StreamYard because it's a really fun way to be able to hang out with your friends. But if you don't know like the ins and outs and how to use it, you're just like, what? You know?
It takes a while. I'm not sure I've got it all figured out. All I know is that if I am the guest, I have to open up YouTube so that I can chat because there's no chat box here for me to chat on.
Oh, and StreamYard? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool. Hey,
but
Lynn.
if it's your StreamYard, you should have
I have a chat.
box. So
That's Jean's. I just put Jean's channel in, and so you guys go over and subscribe to her. I just put her channel into the YouTube box, and let me see if I was gonna put. Let me see.
hi, Lynn.
I was gonna put Care's channel in here, but oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so remedial. Does anybody else have like? Yeah, I'm remedial, you guys. I'm having my own remedial moment. So you guys want to hear the most ridiculous latest dilemma and my daughter going to school? All right, this is so stupid. It's just
You can put it back on both of us.
okay. Sorry, I'm in the middle. I will in just a second. I'm in the
Okay.
middle of looking up Care's channel so I can put it in there. So my latest, for all of you know that I have like grown children, and I have one that is she'll be 14. She'll be 14 in like, oh my gosh, in like 4 days. And she's going into the 8th grade. And last year I'd sent her to, well, the past 2 years I'd sent her to Montessori school. You know, I know schools in some places are really great. In Hawaii, I have to tell you they're not. So that's the primary reason I send her to Montessori school. So, okay, Lynn, thanks. Yeah, that would be super awesome if you did. So, now we're doing this whole pandemic thing, right? And so we're not, all school is remote here. So Montessori school is really expensive, you guys. It's like $15,000 a year. So, and I did not have the best experience with their remote, like what they did to help us out with our kids remotely. I really felt like they thought our kids were like in high school and we should be able to, and you know what I mean? I didn't have the best experience. Like I thought they could have been more hands-on or more, I don't know. When you've had a bunch of kids and this is like your last time, you kind of have a different expectation. You're not like super hyped up and think that the world is going to end, but you also don't like it when they don't put the effort in. And I really felt like they didn't put the effort in. So it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice. And I just fussed with them. I said, you guys could do better for our kids. So in talking to her, she decided she said, Mom, we're just gonna go remote. Because basically what they were doing is like Montessori schools, like you teach to the level of the child, where the child is. So for her, you know, there's some things she excels in, some things that she doesn't, just like every child, but it was a lot. So like basically we were doing like you would when you're in college, you know, basically they give you an assignment and you just figure it out. Well, you guys, that might be good for somebody that's like they're up on their academics, but I haven't been in the 7th grade in a very long time. So let's just say thank God I had grown children that I could go, how do you do this? Like I forgot, you know, like that sort of thing. Well, so we decided we would go to public school. So I went down on Friday. Well, and they've been putting it off like Anyway, I went down to register her for school, and I gave her all the paperwork, and the Montessori school has not sent her transcripts in, so I can't get her enrolled. Isn't that ridiculous?
It's crazy.
You would think a tiny private school could get it in. So we got up super early yesterday morning, ready to do our remote thing, but we can't even log into our account because they haven't sent her. So that's what we're doing. It's totally ridiculous. So I love your dishcloth. What else are you going to have in the auction?
Well, I think it's mostly going to be crocheted things. I do have some vintage doilies that are crocheted. I don't know for sure what all Kira's got. I know she's got some of Stacy's stuff and some other things that have been made strictly for the auction. So
That's nice.
it ought to be pretty exciting.
I'm excited. I don't know if my pocketbook will be excited, but I'm excited.
I think it'll be fun. I really enjoy when we do them together because then I get to do something besides just sit there and watch the screen.
Okay, no, what? Because what? Because of the auction's what?
Because these old eyes just ain't what they used to be.
Oh, girl, please, I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. So I have this, you guys, I know this Shelley plate looks so crusty, but it still works just great. Hi, Janet. So tell me what's going on. What's going on with you guys? You guys tell us what's going on in your world. What were you going to say, Jane?
This print was yesterday because I use my jelly plate as a palette all the time. And so this was my first pull to get all that stuff off there. Oh, nice. I thought it was pretty cool.
I think it's very cool. You know what? Mine doesn't always work like that. Do you know what I end up doing with it? Is I get some tape and do some tape transfers, and then I use them on my ATC. The packing tape.
Yep.
But a friend of mine sent me these Delusions paint. She doesn't use them, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to send them to you in the mail." And she was smart enough to stick them in a bag, in a baggie, so they got here okay. She's like, I think I've decided I know exactly how she feels. This whole pandemic has made me, I have to say, my own version of what was I thinking? You know, kind of like, why do I have 200, whatever it is, you know? What was I thinking? I have that. And so I can relate. But she sent them to me, and I haven't ever used them. And I know everybody loves these paints, but I have to tell you, first thing out of the jar, they're all over me.
Those Delusions paints?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like them. I threw mine away.
Oh, no, you threw yours away? Well,
yep.
First go.
Most of them dried up anyway.
You know what's so funny is that, you know, my partner, who's an artist, he uses really expensive paints. Me, on the other hand, I use whatever is cheap because I figure it's not, you know, I'm not making like a piece of artwork for a museum. I'm just making it for myself. And I like my cheap paint better than his expensive paint.
I do too.
Is that ridiculous or what? I do. I like it a lot better. I bought myself a bunch of new stencils. Do you ever have this? Okay, I bought myself a bunch of new stencils. I said I'm going to put them in a place I can find them. And they're tiny. They're like for ATCs. Oh, maybe this is them. And I'm like, I can't find them. So I bought these from, I found them. I bought them from the Artisan's Cafe on, I think she's on Etsy. I don't know. Maybe she's on YouTube. You guys, I don't know. Anyway, I bought them. I haven't used them yet. So we'll see. And she's having a sale. Not like I need a reason to buy anything, but.
Yeah. I had to buy a new printer, and I'm not so sure about the computer either, so.
You had to buy a new printer? What did you get?
I got a OfficeJet HP. I really, really like it so far.
Oh, nice. I have to get
Janet.
I have to get a new one. too, but I haven't done it.
This stencil I cut myself.
That's my
I
favorite thing to do is to cut my own stencils, and I have some good ones because a long time ago in my incarnations of living, I had a big I painted very large canvas painting. So I definitely have ones that I've cut myself,
Yeah.
out of industrial plastic. But you guys, I don't know. I haven't done what I should do, but I'm trying. I'm getting better. I'm trying to this week I've gone through my stuff. How many of you guys have so much stuff that you're just I have to do something about it? I've been going through my stuff, making piles of stuff to, I think when you've been an artist forever, you collect the oddest things, right?
You think?
Well, I know I do. So the other day, you guys, I used to be a metalsmith, and I loved making my favorite type of jewelry to make is stuff made from found objects. But that's not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm not telling you to have it if that's not your cup of tea. Okay, my first thing out of the box is the stencils are super thin. So these are the kind of stencils you're going to have to be precious with. So if you're not a precious stenciler, these might not be at least the ones I got. She may have other ones that are not. So you know what I mean? You can tell by just cleaning them off, you're going to bend them. So guess what? These aren't going to get clean. No, so I was cleaning out. I was looking for some stuff in my stash, and I found. Can I tell you the most ridiculous things that I was collecting? So, I was collecting bullet casings. My father-in-law, my partner's dad, was an avid hunter. He doesn't. I don't think he hunts anymore, but. And so I told him because at one point in time I was making. It's so stupid. I was making these big. I don't know what you want to call them. I used to call them ear cuffs, but they were these big, sort of dangling, cascading, with these etched. I would etch it into the bullet casing, and then I would set a crystal in the bottom of them. It's how ridiculous, but whatever.
Hey, it's not ridiculous because actually, in the kits I just mailed out to the artists, almost all of them that got the bits and bobs kits has bullet casings.
Oh, okay, then I don't feel bad. But I know there's going to be some anti-shooting people on here, and they're going to be like, yeah, and you're promoting whatever. I didn't shoot the gun, okay? I just used the residue.
That's right.
The stuff. So I found boxes of bullets. I'm live streaming. I'm just letting you know in case somebody in my family decides to say something inappropriate, because they can, No, I found all kinds of stuff. I can't even tell you.
Hi, Julia.
Hi, Julia. So what's going on with you, Deb? I haven't, guys, I'm behind on my YouTube viewing. How many of you guys have been you have lists of things that you like to watch? It's called recycling. That's right, Vic. It's called recycling. Yeah, but when you're cleaning out your garage with your neighbor and they don't really know much about you, but they're like, oh, hey, I'll help you. And I was I needed to move some big boxes in my Howdy with home. So I'm oh, okay, sure. And then I open one of them and it's got bullet casings in it. He's probably thinking, you know what I mean? He's probably oh, yeah. He goes home to his poor little wife and goes, this people next door, she's cray. Stay away from her. She's going to gun ranges and collecting bullet casings. Maybe he thought they were mine, my personal.
We don't even have a gun in our house, so.
You know what? We don't have a gun either, but we grew up in Texas, so having a gun is normal. I grew up in the country, so.
Yeah.
But
I'm a farm girl.
We don't have one. We don't have one here. But they do have a shooting range you can go to here if you were into that sort of thing. But no. Yeah, my poor dad didn't have any sons. He only had daughters, so we were all sort of forced to learn. He just felt like you had to know how to do it. You had to know how to shoot a gun if you were going to have a gun in your home. You know, if you were going to have guns, you know, and he had gun safes and all kinds of craziness. My dad collected guns and old guns and ridiculous. So what other things did I have in there that would be like people would say like, why are you keeping that? Of course, lots of books and magazines and stuff like that. Let's see. I have like boxes of rusty pieces of hardware, like
Ooh.
boxes of rusty, and everything rusts easily here. So if you put like some non-rusted hardware into the rusty box of hardware, in no time it will be, hey Jersey, hey Laura. In no time it will be rusty. So I have boxes of that. He thought that was kind of weird. Deb says she's finished a scouting journal and you'll video it tomorrow. Oh, nice.
That sounds cool.
I know. Have you seen Deb's journals? She makes amazing journals. Oh, speaking of journals, Miss Messy Table Studios, Miss Vicki Brown, she is doing some crazy Coptic stitched books. They are amazing.
Boy, this white paint is yucky.
Well, my drawer plate is stuck with all this, and I don't have. I'm just thinking, like, what do I have that I can? I need to go find the packing tape, which I think is in the other room, because that's where I was packing up all my pages. Oh my gosh, Jean, I don't know how you do it. I only had, I don't know how many I had. I had maybe I had 35 packages. I mean, 35 order, 35. I had maybe 35 items in the auction. And I spent the whole day yesterday packing, and because I ordered, the bad thing about living in Hawaii is I ordered these poly bags, but they didn't, everything takes a little longer to get here. It took a long time to get here. So yesterday I weighed and packed everything, and it took me forever. So I can't imagine and I don't know how many packages it was, but you do 70 a month or more. That's crazy.
It is. It can be crazy. I keep telling my husband they have a parking spot for me at the post office. My very own parking spot.
You know what? You're keeping the post office in business.
And I come in and I say, I need a grocery cart.
And what do they say?
They just go get it for me.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Kim. And I don't know if I said hi to Jersey or not. Hello. I thank you for yesterday, Jersey.
I didn't even get to go on yesterday. I didn't even get to watch. I missed all of it.
She drove the bus over to my house.
Oh. I didn't get to. Yesterday, I don't even want to talk about my yesterday. It was ridiculous. Besides, I mean, I did the packages. That wasn't ridiculous, but hi, Kim. How many of you guys went over to Erin's sale? Okay, it's all Laura's fault. Laura, I'm blaming it on you. It's all Laura's fault. Laura reminded us that Erin was having a fabric sale. Okay, guys, before I ever was a metalsmith or anything, I was a costume designer. So fabric is probably my biggest weakness. And she had some good bargains. some good bargain. She had tons of quilting, cotton quilting fabric. It was, yeah. I did some damage. It is your fault. It's totally your fault. And Peggy, man, I aspire to be like Peggy. How many of you guys know Peggy? Peggy's awesome. I aspire to be like Peggy. Can I tell you, Peggy cleaned her house and bought fabric at the same time. Okay? She was like, okay, I'm going to mop my basement now. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, she used to come to my house. She totally, it put me to shame, right? She was like, okay, I'll be back. Oh, I just cleaned it. I was like, oh man. So she mopped and, I mean, she cleaned and bought fabric. That is multitasking. She was amazing, right? You went crazy. Oh, Laura, I left before the wallpaper, and I don't need wallpaper because you guys know I've got a wallpaper hookup, but I didn't need any fabric. So we won't even tell my hottie because we don't want him to go, what the hell is this? He won't say anything.
I have so much fabric.
Laura says Peggy's husband was like, is that HSN? Oh my God, was that HSN? Might as well have been, okay? Mitch says, Laura, you got more than 10? How many did you get, Laura? Laura Vasquez says she bought all the wallpaper. I didn't buy any wallpaper. I have plenty of wallpaper. I bought fabric. I don't need anything, you guys. It's like ridiculous. I should be when I'm purging. So why am I buying anything when I'm purging? Okay.
Because you're a crafter.
Yeah. Don't you remember, like, my grandmother was a quilter, and so growing up, I mean, I come from a long line of fabric enablers, fabric collectors, right? And my grandmother used to say the one with the most wins, like, you know, like the one that with the most at the end, like when you're dying, when you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept saying, so who's winning? And Peggy kept saying, I think you are, Shelley. Tell Lauren to write happy mail in my package and I'm okay. Laura, you know what? It doesn't matter. He doesn't care. He only cares when he has to move it. Okay? You know what I mean? How many of you guys have partners like that? They only care when they have to move your stuff.
Exactly. I had to make a deal at noon so he would finish taking the rest of what needs to go to the garage outside after work.
Who sold wallpaper? Wait. But Laura says, okay, wait. And Jersey says, Happy Ray was so funny. She says, I sold wallpaper yesterday and today I'm buying more. Oh my God. Girl, that's like the worst, but I can relate. I'm there with Happy Ray. I packed up some stuff for Happy Ray from our debt supply auction hop. I packed up yesterday was mine. I had it already packaged, but then I have to package it, you know what I mean, all the bundles together. I was like thinking, I have a new great respect for people that have sales because I don't. You know, I don't. I mean, I could probably have a really scary thing, you guys, is I could probably have like a sale every day of the week for a whole year. Still have stuff. I mean, I was going through I told you guys my middle daughter's getting married. So, and she wants my older daughter or me, whichever one of us, to make her a wedding band or make her wedding ring. And she wants specific kind of wedding rings that I used to make a long time ago. So she wants one with like stones and stuff in it. So I'm like looking through all my stuff. You guys, it's like, it's bad. With jewelry supplies, you can fit a lot in a very small bag. Wouldn't you agree, Jane?
Absolutely. I would love for y'all to see all of my stuff. You would just have a cow. But, you know, not all of it's mine.
We're moving in, Jane. Like, right, girls? We'd be like, we're moving in.
Bring your sleeping bags because the bed is full.
Oh my God. Okay, so this is true crafting confessions. Since why not? We're all here together. True crafting confessions. So, you know, I have moved my craft room so many times. It's so ridiculous. My family thinks it's just hilarious, which I don't quite find it as funny as they do, but it's okay. But like I live in a small house, so when one of my kids moves out, I move all my stuff in their room as the crafting room, and then somebody comes back. So now I'm back in my tiny, tiny, tiny bedroom. I'm crafting in a tiny corner of my bedroom. So if I get myself going on a project, so I'm obsessed with making these traveler's notebook journals. I'll have to show them to you. Hang on, sorry guys. Traveler's notebook inserts, and I'm making them out of everything, and I love them. I'm sort of addicted to them right now. This moment, that's my momentary addiction. Well, I had everything on the bed, Jane. I had taken everything, like seriously, taken all this stuff off out of my, you know what I mean? And it was just everywhere. And my poor partner comes in and he goes, I want to go to bed. And I'm like, wait, there's no room. He's like, I'll come back. I was like, sorry, I didn't know you were gonna go to bed right now. Sorry. Because I had pulled out like all the paper, all the vintage paper I wanted. I had pulled out all this paper that I was coffee dyed paper, tea dyed paper, painty paper. I had all kinds of stuff everywhere. I'm sorry. My phone is just ridiculous. It's like one of those things where, like your phone doesn't ring until you start screaming.
Oh, yeah.
My poor partner.
I turned mine off this time.
Yeah, but I didn't know if the school was going to call. Because I kind of made it stink, Jane. I kind of made it stink, and I said, this is not a school activity. You guys have got to give her records. You know what? It's only remote, so, like, it's not like she's actually being tardy or truant or whatever,
So the only rooms of my house that does not have craft supplies in them is my kitchen. And I could almost guarantee I can find something I can call a craft supply in there.
Oh, I can too.
And the master bath. Because all my auction stuff is in boxes in the shower, in the spare bedroom, or the extra bathroom.
Oh my gosh, Jane.
I gave Gary the choice. I said, I don't have any place to put this. We're either going to walk around it or it's going in the shower. And he says, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, you got a good man. You've been married a long time, Jane. How long have you been married?
It was 40 years in July.
Oh, awesome. Congratulations. 40 years.
I got married at 10,
No, you know what? You have put up with somebody for 40 years. That's a huge thing. And they put up with you. Like I don't know how many people, the best part is my partner. He doesn't, because he's an artist, he understands. So he doesn't usually give me, so he doesn't give me a hard time about my excess.
Mine's pretty good about not most of the time, Actually, he'll give me more of a hard time about the floors needing swept than anything piled around.
Oh, you know what? You've been married too long. I just turn and hand mine the broom. Say, have at it. Thank you for showing me.
I always just say, I don't think it's my turn.
That's a good one. No, I just always go, here you go.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't say much about anything like that.
Well, we have 2 dogs. One sheds more than the other one doesn't shed at all. And I have wooden floors, and it gets crazy. It really gets crazy. But you know what? Nobody comes over. And if they come over to see my floors, then they can just leave.
Let's see what everybody's saying. Oh, so Laura says hers is a sweetheart. And Janet says, oh, true. There's no craft stuff in the bathroom. You guys, I have craft stuff in my bathroom. I have to admit it, I do. I have like a little thing to hang in the shower to hang up when I'm painting and dyeing fabric and papers. And Nicole says she has too much stuff. And then he says her Romeo is so good to her. She's grateful. He's smart. He says you need a room for this real quick. Oh, are you kidding? Hi, Kathy. You know what? We've been talking about like we've been talking about moving, right? And so he's like, well, wherever we move, he goes, we need an extra 1,000 square feet for your craft space. I said, oh
I keep telling mine I want to retire and RV around everywhere, and he says, you can't do it. You'd have too much stuff and you wouldn't part with any of it.
that's not true. You might part with some of it.
Well, we can always pull another trailer behind.
You know what? There was a lady, and I don't know if she was in my Crafting Mamas group or if she was in. She might have been. She might have been in that textile group we were in together. She traveled around in an RV. She lived and made her art in an RV, and I was so impressed. She did it. What were you in that group, Jean? Do you remember her? I can't remember her name. It'll come to me though. No, as soon as we stop streaming, it'll come to me, right?
Yeah, I don't recall. I can remember it a little bit, but
No, she showed all these cool things that she had that she'd been pulling around, and I was like very impressed. I was like thinking, yeah, I just need that for my the RV would just be for my art supplies. I don't know where we'd sleep.
exactly.
Right?
And I'm trying to get him to get me an RV to put in the backyard to be my workshop.
Oh, that's nice.
And it would actually be cheaper than a shed, at least the sheds I've been picking out. And
Expensive.
yeah, anyway, then we realized that's not going to work because we'd have to tear down some of the cinder block fence. And
Oh no.
so I don't think I want to do that. So
Uh, Lynn got a she shed. I'm a little jealous of that.
yeah, me too.
Lynn
We won't talk about that.
she got a she shed. Lynn just celebrated her. Was it your 40th, Lynn, or your 30th? I forgot. How long have you been married, Lynn? Romeo's looking at RVs today, and he was like, Laura's saying this Jersey. How does that work with the animals and craft? Oh, I get it. Kim says she's going to use your idea and hide stuff in the guest shower, Jane. I don't have a guest shower. Deb says, my honey doesn't want to live in a tiny house. You really do? I don't know if I can. I don't even know if I could. Not that I couldn't live in a tiny house. I just would have to have an art studio separate. Lynn says they've been married 34 years, but they've been together 37.
Well, congratulations.
I know. That's a huge feat.
Yep. And we had the Corona celebration.
You had a
Steaks at home.
Steaks at home. That sounds good, though. Kim says she just wants a tiny house for crafting. Okay.
That would be good. I have the room where we live. We've got a big lot, and really there's this business behind us just across the alley. I don't know what it is, but it only has men coming in.
Well, that might be a little interesting.
I know. Anyway, it's been empty so many times, and it just, kind of, nobody stays around in it very long. I don't know what's wrong with it. Maybe it's cursed. I don't know. But I was like, that would be so handy. And if I got out there real early, I could still stay in my pajamas.
I've seriously been looking since we've been home. Like we used to have, when we lived on the other side of our island, we had a studio, painting studio. It was my partner, and I would do metalsmithing in there. My partner does oil painting, and oil painting in a tiny house is like, yeah, everybody's then, you do either wear that respirator mask, which now would be in vogue, but back then it was not, So we had a studio, and it was really helpful because then you could really separate. But then what I would find for myself is that I would be bringing home stuff, projects I didn't finish, and then it became a pile somewhere else. Does that make sense? It's like a no win-win, but it's all good. It is all good. So tell me what you guys are. Okay, Nicole says if she won the lottery, she would hire an organizational expert and a designer for a craft room for you. Oh, that'd be awesome. Hi, Juanita. How are you?
Wouldn't that be great to just sit back and say, okay, put it here and put it here and, just sit there and let them do all the work and you just tell them what you want. I think that sounds amazing.
Well, I started going through all my stuff and part of me was like, oh my gosh, it's like, why did I keep this? Or I got to one frustrated point and I was like, maybe I should just throw it all away. And my daughter started laughing. She goes, like you ever would. Like you would not. So they're saying, Juanita says that she says the place is haunted.
I wonder sometimes something, they just put in all new security system.
Really?
Yep. And Gary keeps telling me not to go outside in my pajamas.
Hey, I go outside to my pajamas. I'm telling you.
You know what? My favorite clothing is my pajamas.
I look at it this way. If somebody is dare to say anything to me, they should just look the other way. Seriously. They should look the other way.
Exactly. You know what? My nightgown has more of me covered than a lot of other people's clothes do. So,
I get it.
I'm okay. I'm also old enough that I just don't care.
Well, I'm that way too. I don't care either. I'm off like, say something to me. The one kind of thing though about living in Hawaii is people are really not. People are not all up in your business like that. You know what I mean? There's nobody to keep up with here because most people the people that live here, it costs so much to live here. You just work really hard and you do your life and nobody's bothering you, right? And if it's somebody that's just visiting, well, so what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I only got dressed in case, my camera falls off the stand God. And, so
Well, I was up so early this morning. It was ridiculous. My phone is so crazy. Do you guys ever put your phone on a don't call you between certain hours? Except if it's like a couple of numbers, like if it's your kids or whatever, so you'd know if something happened. My phone's set like that, but my phone went off like at 3 o'clock this morning. Of course, I jump out of bed because it was a solicitation call, like a whatever. Do you know your home warranty is gone, or what? I was so like, what? Blurry eyed with my phone making me jump at 3 this morning. Juanita says, just tell them to mind their own business, and you're in your night clothes. Your night clothes cover up more than your day clothes.
Exactly.
And Vicky says her jammies are cuter than some of those people at Walmart. You know how they have that website where they show all the faux pas of what people wear at Walmart? Uh-huh. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Nicole says, I'm wearing pajamas right now. I woke up and put on a clean nightgown. Good for you, Nicole. You guys, I have this thing for how many of you guys I sleep in like pajama bottoms. I like those. I like cotton. I have like 100% cotton pajama bottoms. And they're not so easy to find. I don't think any of you have ever tried. They're not so easy to find. So if I find a few pair, buy multiples. If I find pairs that I like, but mine are kind of like ridiculous. Like they'll have, because usually the ones that I like are the 100% cotton ones. They've got like ridiculous patterns on them, but it's the fabric. Mine have like stars and cats or dogs or whatever, and it's not necessarily the best colors, but at least it's been my experience lately trying to buy myself some new pajamas.
Well, some of my nightgowns I've had so many years, way too many years. My husband says I have. That's what I collect.
Your nightgowns?
Mm-hmm. If they still fit, I don't care what they look like. You know, if you paint in your nightgown often enough, they become pretty stained up. But you know what? I don't care.
Deb says she's in bed already. What time is it where you are, Deb? Yeah, Renee, it's the do not disturb. Well, mine disturbs me today, okay? Nicole says she cannot sleep in socks or pants.
I can't sleep in socks.
Jersey said that she wore uncomfortable clothes for work for years. She refused to be uncomfortable at home. I agree with you, Laura. 100% agree.
Going back to the hubbies, I have a good man because he does two things perfectly.
What?
He puts the toilet paper on the roll or on the dispenser. He doesn't just leave it on the counter, and he puts it the right direction. That's one. And the other one is he lets me put my cold toes on him at night, every night.
Aww.
He may drive me nuts other times, but
I have a really good partner too, and he does drive me crazy. He says, you know, it's so funny. He says, "Thank God I'm not as annoyed at you as you are at me." Because I could go there, but why? I'm like, okay, well, I appreciate you. Oh my goodness. So who did I watch? I have been. What have I been binge watching? I binge watch while I craft or whatever British television shows. Okay, I have a. Deb says she keeps her cold toes to herself. Okay. Juanita said her hubby's a built-in heating blanket. That's why she married him.
Yep.
Bernie says, "Wow, Jean, put the toilet paper on the roll. That's amazing." It's the little things, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Sharon. How are you? It is a little thing. It's totally the little thing.
And we do honoring things to each other too.
What kind of honoring things do you do?
Well, I told this one the other day, so I don't know if anybody's heard it or not, but he has this thing about silverware. He will not use the salad fork. He only wants the big forks. And we have two sets of silverware in our drawer. The first one was a wedding present, so it's kind of special, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And even the big fork in that set is still a little bit shorter than the other ones. So he only wants this one kind of fork. And so one day, it's been a few weeks ago, I guess, I was cleaning out the silverware drawer, and I thought, wow, the dishes are done, and there's not very many forks in there. So I pull it out, and back in the back, I have a tray, and that's where we put the grandkids stuff. Their spoons and forks and stuff because we don't use them often. And there buried under all of that was all of the little forks. And I thought, well, if you're going to do that, I'm going to get even. So I pulled them out, and all we have in our drawer now are little forks. The big forks are hidden. And
anything to you?
Yeah, he does things like that. His biggest thing is if he breaks something or messes something up, he hides it or tries to fix it. Like I had this plant and it was down to its last legs, and he knocked off the last leaf.
Oh no!
And instead of telling me that, he took the leaf and he set it like on top of the stalk like this. And so I see this dead leaf and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did that plant do that, you know? And he said, well, I did it several weeks ago. And I'm like, and he's always doing something like that.
Oh, I
So,
love that. That's awesome. That is so awesome. That's great.
but he is getting his forks back because he put up the shelf in the spare bedroom. So I was just using it for leverage.
Oh God, Kim says she likes British television shows too. I like. Okay, I don't know why. I think it's the accent, or Australian, or Scottish. Oh my gosh, you guys like? Oh my gosh, this guy. I think he's so cute. Oh my gosh, what is the name of it? Shetland. Have you guys seen that show? Oh my gosh, that guy. His voice, and he's cute. He is so cute. Like ridiculous, right? Okay, so Deb says while she was sick for 3 weeks with with a virus, her honey cared for her 100%. Oh, I love him for that too. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. So let me think. So you guys, we don't feel forced for stuff like that, but I will tell you that stuff gets broken around here, and nobody fesses up to it. Okay, no one. Okay, and then they blame it like, oh, the dog did it, or the cat did it. So we just kind of go with like. So the joke is to the poor dog. Did you do that? And she's like, what? Ridiculous. Well, I'll tell you the most ridiculous silverware story. So Blake's grandmother passed away. She was like in her late 90s, and this is like maybe it was last year. I don't remember. Anyway, she was funny, but she used to steal silverware. Okay, she was a very wealthy woman, but she grew up in the Depression, and for whatever reason, she had a thing where she was like a silverware stealer. And Blake used to be like, oh my God, like they'd be out to dinner and she'd steal the silverware, right? When you weren't looking, and maybe not even from your table. So, we laughed about it because I said, "Oh, my grandmother used to take sweet and low." Like what I mean. We all had our own like things, right? So his grandmother passed away. We were talking about it, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry that you didn't." We were both working crazy schedules. I said, "I'm sorry you didn't get to go and see her, before she died." And he's like, "Yeah, but he talked to her, whatever." Anyway, so I said, well, let's just honor her and have like a little whatever, like a little dinner and talk about her and celebrate her life that way. So we were doing that. We did that. Well, over the next like 2 weeks, all of our silverware started disappearing. All of the spoons disappeared. All of them. Not one, but all. And Jean, I collect old silver plated silverware.
uh-huh.
So I have every mismatched possible, but we were like down to no spoons. And so I was like, this is like this right after his grandmother died. And I said, oh my gosh, I think his grandmother took our silverware. And he was like, I think she did too. And we were laughing and laughing and laughing about it. And Jane, it started reappearing. So we don't know who took it. And that, it was gone for like ever. And my older daughter, she was cooking something. She's like, where are all the spoons? I'm like, I have no idea. We probably got 50 spoons. Because whenever I used to go to a yard sale on the mainland, I would, grab a couple. Like wherever you found silver plates of war. So we thought maybe it was his grandma. Maybe his grandma was coming to take her. Kim says, no, Sharon says silverware is disposable in her house. The garbage eats it. Oh no! Can you buy 4 for $1 at Walmart? I think yes. Okay, so Kim says they call it a person, not me, which is what the kids would say when you ask who broke something. They'd go, not me.
Yeah, my son was just like his father, though. He would try to camouflage it.
Oh, how are your grandkids doing, Jane?
They're doing good. My granddaughter just started first grade. They're doing it in class because she's in a charter school and they have small enough classes they can keep them separate.
Wow.
And my grandson is in Virginia, and they are they don't start until after Labor Day anyway, but they're going to do the first 9 weeks at home. And then you can make the decision if you want to do the second 9 weeks or the whole year after that.
Well, that's good. At least they're giving you the option. We didn't
Yeah,
know
I
what
think
to do here. They were doing
I
this weird thing where, like, you could go to school 1 day a week or something here. Like you did, I don't know, or 2 days a week, and then they were opting for, I don't know. But then, they think that Hawaii has the fastest, how do you put it? Like, because we haven't had very many cases here, they think that the immunity of the people here is low. So it will spread the fastest faster than anywhere because of that. And the downside for us is that we only have one little hospital here where I live, and I don't even think the whole hospital has 100 beds, and we have 140,000 people that live here. So it could really wipe everyone out. And the majority, I would say, more than 50% of the population is over 65. People that live in the like Pacific Island, people live to be, some of them in their 110, 111 years old.
yeah.
So they're kind of afraid to expose at least our island. Now, Oahu has a bunch of hospitals and stuff like that. Like, if you get sick here, you have to be flown over there. Isn't that crazy? Like, any sort of specialist appointment you need, you have to go over there. So you get on an airplane and fly for your doctor's appointment. It's crazy.
That is kind of crazy. I would never have to do that around here. Well, not too far from that. We have to travel to get to any specialist. I'm not even sure we have an OBGYN here.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to have Riley do the homeschool all year, just to be safe with him.
Right. Well, see, that was my thing, is because you guys, I don't talk about my health issues, but I have always had a upper respiratory immune deficiency, like a compromised immune system. I was born with it. So, like, when I get like anything like bronchitis or anything, it's like worse than, like, say, the average person. So I was kind of like thinking, I'm not a wimp, but there's not any job that I've ever done where I'd say, man, I want to go do that and be exposed to a bunch of tourists and catch something. you know?
Bye, Debbie.
Bye, Deb. Have a good night. Big hugs to you. And we'll go over and check out your video once you get it up. You guys go over and check out. Her name is Debbie Cork with an E, Corke, and she does some really cool journals and glue books. No, it's not worth the risk. If I was like 100% whatever, I wouldn't even think about it. But you guys remember when I got pneumonia a couple of years ago? It really kicked my butt, and it was bad. I was like, and I had it. It took me probably 6 months to even get my energy back. And after that, I was like, wow. That's when like, you're like, okay, this is like, I'm no longer 20, and I can't pretend that I am. I was so sick. It was like, I'm trying to put enough paint on here to pull up this old paint, but it's not coming. Whatever paint I have is just not enough to pull up this old paint. So I know you guys are looking at my papers and going like, what the heck are you going to do with them? Guys, I'm going to cut them all up. They're going to be part of like some collage stuff I'm working on. I was so sick. It was horrible.
So I need to finish my grandson story.
I finished it. Yes, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Because they're homeschooling, they're coming to spend a week in October.
Nice.
I know. I'm really excited.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
really thrilled.
Moved to Virginia.
Pardon?
How long ago did she move to Virginia?
I think they've been gone about not quite 2 years. Wait, no, Easter was a year, so they're into their second year. They love it. They absolutely love it.
Didn't she live close to you though before?
Uh-huh.
Because I faintly remembered you like helping her set up her classroom. Am I wrong, or did I imagine that, or was that something that?
Nope, that happened.
Yeah. Ask me where
Yep.
my glasses are. I can't tell you, but I remember that.
Yep. Well, I did it in Lubbock and I did it in Odessa. So it was a little bit of both. I think she's needing a little bit of mommy time too. I hope. That's what I'm telling myself anyway.
We all need our parents. Are you kidding? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you ever get too old for that. I mean, maybe when you're in your 20s and you're in that sort of I know everything, you're dumb phase to your parents. You know, how many of you guys have kids that they go, oh, they're 20 and they think they know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of wake up somewhere, and I can't exactly remember when it is, but they do kind of at some point wake up and go, I didn't really know very much.
Yeah.
Or why did I treat you like that? Or I wasn't. No. Yeah.
Thanks, Jersey and Kim. She spins. I don't. If you told me your name, I don't remember. I spin too.
That's Juanita.
Juanita. Yes, I have a spinning wheel. I spent over $800 on a spinning wheel, and it hasn't been used for over a year. But I keep thinking I'm going to retire.
You're gonna retire and then start using your spinning wheel?
Yeah. Oh wait, don't you have to have a job to retire? I guess I'm not going to get that either.
You're so funny.
Oh.
Too funny. I think everybody's rethinking their lives and what they're going to do for livelihoods. I have so many friends now that are just like, I'm not, whatever, they're not doing their vocation any longer because they can't,
Yeah. And I have a ton of wool to spin, and it's just kind of other things have just taken up my time. That's just all there is. I need to make time for it.
Oh, but you know what, Jean, I think this is all of us. I think that we just have to make time for the things that we really want to do. I have the same issue in my life. It's like I have projects that I've been wanting to work on, and I don't know. There's no reason that I haven't worked on them, but I just haven't.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Oh, that was sweet.
What was sweet? I missed it. I'm trying to find a pink lip.
She gave her will to a young girl who didn't have the money for one.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so nice.
A lender might be what I have. I don't know. I already forgot. Is that terrible? I think it was one of those crazy, spontaneous things that I did. I don't regret it. I don't regret it. Never have. But I just wish I used it a little bit more than I do.
Hello, my name is. Messy Table says, hello, my name is Vicky. I'm a paper addict. Vic. Oh, man. I think, girl, that is like, yes, I can admit it. I am a paper addict. I have issues. I have paper issues. Looking for my palette. The problem is I cleaned my desk off when we were having the auction, and I have like these little small things. My palette is like a plastic lid from a jar, but I don't know what I did with it. Maybe I threw it. I wouldn't have thrown it away, but maybe I put it in the kitchen. I don't know.
Yeah, I have some fancy palettes, and I pretty much use my jelly plate or, old butter lids or something.
Yeah, no. Mine was an old butter lid. I have other smaller jelly plates and a really big one. My hottie bought me this really nice big one, and I like it a lot, but my table is so small, it takes up most of my table, so I just don't. Just looking to see if I had something close by, but I don't. I was just looking to see if I had. I am getting better at recycling things that I have multiples of, and you know, how many of you are good at that? Where you go, I have 10 butter lids. I only need 8. No, I'm just kidding. I only need 8 butter lids. Hey, will you do me a favor? Will you see if you can find, I'm live streaming, but will you see if you can find me a plastic lid? I just need it for a paint palette. You know, like the plastic thing from the yogurt or whatever. Yes, it's ridiculous. It's like one of those things where you're like, what? Why? Paint palette?
Thanks, Jersey.
What did you say? What did she say? I'm missing it. Let's see.
She loves my papers.
Oh, your papers are always beautiful. Juanita says, oh, thank you so much, sweetheart. Perfect. Oh, look. It's bitchin' sauce. That's what we're going to use for our paint palette. Yeah, yeah. Here's the live stream delay. Look.
That's such a great. It's such a good.
It's such a good sauce. If you guys haven't tried it, it's a bitchin' sauce. Chipotle bitchin' sauce. So funny.
Is it really hot?
No, but it's spicy. It adds. It's made from. You know, I've been doing that keto diet now for like a long time. It's made from almonds, so it's vegan or whatever, and then it's spicy, so you can add it to anything. Blake we have. So you know how people bring each other gifts from different places? We bring each other hot sauce. It's so ridiculous? So like when I travel to South America, I brought home all this hot sauce. Or wherever I go, we bring home hot sauce. So we like hot things. He likes it hotter than I do. But
yeah. That's what our house is like too. I don't know that I ever cook a meal that he doesn't put hot sauce on something.
Yeah,
but,
I have. We have. But do you? How many different kinds of hot sauce do you have though? That's how ridiculous we are. We have. Oh, Jane.
I have no idea how many's in there.
No, we have all kinds, but you guys, his favorite new sauce. It's not new, but you know how you go through phases of your hot sauce. His favorite hot sauce right now is Cholula. Have you had that one?
Yes, that's Gary's favorite.
So we just bought it. You can't buy it. You can buy it here, and it's like $5 for the tiniest bottle. But then I buy it by the gallon on Amazon for like $20. So the mailman always goes, "What do you buy?" And I'm like, "You really want to know? Hot sauce." I buy hot sauce. How about you? What do you buy? Laura's so funny. She says that she had a credit on her old subscription to Oprah Magazine, and they sent her this issue, and she really wanted it. That's awesome. She goes, I had a whole bunch of other things to do, but now she goes, now that I got the magazine, I have no direction. Girl,
hi, Helen.
I have to make a list of stuff I want to get done. And I still don't even get it done.
I have a list. And I've actually, it's kind of crazy. I got all of my packages out, and it's like I became a new person. Is that not crazy?
No, it's normal. I think we're all like that. When you have something on your plate and you get it done, you feel like, "Ooh, I accomplished that."
And then on top of that, I've had computer and printer problems, and I have fixed them all by myself. And I'm like, whoa, I am woman, hear me roar.
Deb says she's going to have to sell half of what she has. The hoard is awful, and it won't fit in your cabinet. You're selling it. I hear you. Girl, you're preaching to the choir here, okay? But we all collect. Okay, I want everybody to put into the chat, what is the oddest thing that you collect to craft with? And let's just see how let's just go full range and see what we got going on here. Besides bullet casings, let me think of what other. I have fabric bits, obviously book pages. I have like so many book pages.
Well, my husband asked me if the basket was full enough of toilet paper rolls. Could we stop now?
Oh no! You know what? My daughter, she saves those. My little one. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. She like, one day I'll have to get some and show them to you. She makes like these creatures out of our toilet paper rolls. And so she like saves them, and she saves bottled the can. I think it's an age thing. You know, the top for your soda cans. You know those things. Oh no! Oh, hi Nana. I'm sorry, Sharon. And you accomplish your tech solution on your own. You feel like Superwoman, and you get so she understands you. Laura completely
Yes.
understands you. She feels like she's Superwoman when she can solve her tech solution.
Well, I still have one more, and I don't know how I'm going to solve that one.
What, a tech problem?
Yep. I got a new scanner, and the installation is in a CD drive, and I don't have a CD drive on my laptop.
You know what? But a lot of times, Jean, if you go to their websites, they have a link that you can download it from there.
Okay, well, that's what I was thinking. My other option was to find someone who does, and
No, because I have the same problem because I don't have a CD drive, and we got a black and white printer a while ago, so I had to print out all these documents, and I was complaining the same thing, and my daughter's like, Mom, just go online. Just go online, enter in your model, go to their website, it'll be there. And she's right.
I'm going to do that.
She is right. Okay, let's see. Laura Jersey says she thought she doesn't collect stuff. Okay, right. Okay, you collect craft supplies like me. Hi, Helen. Helen says she's working on several journals for Tanya and Lisa's videos. Oh, from the videos, painting papers are making me want to make them. Oh, Helen, I have my own issue with painting papers. Lynn collects potato chip bags. I still haven't done. Lynn has this really cool craft. Did you guys ever watch it? She makes these potato chip bag flowers, and they're really beautiful with the heat gun and everything. I've wanted to go do them, but I haven't done them yet. Let's see. Deb says envelopes from our bills. I do that too. Lynn makes all. Go over and you guys go to Lynn's channel. It's Lynn. Her name's right there, Lynn Wright, and then -Glazerbug, and you will see. She makes these cool. They're very cool. Paper chip and potato chip bag flowers. Oh, so Jersey says the oddest thing she collects is she hoards her Betty Crocker baking cards. And these people, she literally can't pass them by if she sees them somewhere. Helen says bottle caps. Her daughter got them from a bartender for me, and you have a large plastic jar. Oh, I'm going to tell you my bottle cap story in a minute, Helen. It's ridiculous. And then, and Jana's saying they make the journaling cards. And, oh, I have a few. I don't have as many as you, but Vicky says she collects the inside bag from cereal and crackers. They makes envelopes out of them to store her scraps. That's a really good idea. Aww. Romeo ordered the Oprah magazine for you. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, Laura, he's a keeper. Okay, so while you keep putting in the oddest thing you guys collect your crafting. So you guys know, like, I don't know, 4 years ago, whenever I went to Bogota, and traveled around South America years ago. And I've gone several times. I haven't been, obviously, lately, but I went, and they had these. We were in a town somewhere in the mountains, and they were having a like a fair, like their version of it. It was, I don't know what saint it was. They were having some religious fair, but it was like what we might look at like a church bazaar, something like that. And I got food or whatever, and I was with some friends, and they had these bottle caps. Oh my gosh, you guys! They're in my garage to show you. So I made a comment to my friend and said, "Oh, I'd like a few of those," and they were all in card suits. So they had like aces, diamonds, spades, like that. And they were black and red. And I just said, oh my gosh, I could make the coolest tailor box with these. Just thinking in my head, like I didn't say it out loud, but in my head I'm thinking it. And my friend went over there and he asked the lady, and they gave me like a shopping bag full. Okay, you guys, they thought I was so crazy, but they were like, okay, have at it. So in my suitcase, when I came back from Bogota, I had a bag, a huge bag of thousands of bottle caps and hot sauce. Okay? What did you bring back? Bottle caps and hot sauce.
When I went to Virginia about a year ago, we went to this seafood restaurant, and they had the coolest deli paper in their fish and chip basket. And so I embarrassed my son-in-law. My daughter's used to it. But I asked the guy when he brought me back the ticket, I said, can you get me one of these that's not been used? And he come out with the stack of them. And I said, I bet that's the weirdest thing you've heard all day. And he says, no, I hear it at least once a shift.
Aww.
So I didn't feel so bad.
There's some thrifty crafters out there. I have to say I've done that, and I've also like gone out to eat, and the napkin's so cool. I put the napkin in my purse and ask for another one.
I've done that, and I don't go to Chili's or I think it is Applebee's. I don't remember, maybe one or the other, both. I don't know, where they put the silverware in that tiny little skinny brown bag. Pull my silverware out immediately so that bag doesn't get dirty.
Oh, I do that too, and the placemat too, right? Like,
yes.
And my little one, she's so great. I mean, she'll be 14 now, but when she was really little, we'd go out to eat, and she'd look at the placemat before she'd go, "Do you want it?" Before they could put anything down on it.
Yes.
So Helen says, "I must have been a hoot going through customs." Helen, I've had people. Believe it or not, I've brought all kinds of crazy, strange stuff back, and they're like, yeah, there's one cracker short in this box, I'm sure is what they're thinking. Right? I went to Israel, and I traveled all over, and at that time I was really into making found object jewelry. And there was all this like rusted barbed wire and glass and stuff, and I had a bunch of that in my suitcase. I'm sure they were like, okay.
I brought back sand from Virginia.
I've been known to do that too. I've been known to do that too. Let me see what. And what, Nana, South America is a really beautiful place to go. I advise anyone, it's so beautiful.
Lori, we do that too. When we go on vacation, our vacations have two purposes: shopping for me and breweries for him.
Breweries are always really fun. I've gotten some cool posters. I have a few. You guys, I just heard a bunch, but I have a few good ones.
My coolest one I ever found.
Oh, Freddie B also had two. Bentley says, what was your coolest one you found?
I'm thinking it. For some reason, I'm thinking it was Amarillo, but I don't know. It's a newer one. The whole thing is, it's like they cut up a cardboard box and stamped their logo on it, and that's all they were. I was like, that is so cool.
That was what their bar coasters were?
Yes.
That is actually a brilliant idea.
I thought it was amazing.
I like that kind of idea.
Yeah.
So Stephanie says North Carolina sand is better than Virginia sand.
I didn't get there. I did get to DC. which was kind of cool. I didn't like seeing all those people all over when we went by the White House, but that's okay. It's their choice. I just didn't want to. I'm not very controversial.
I understand. So Lori says she doesn't drink beer, but she goes for the coasters. I get it, girl. I get it. There was one bar here. I don't know. You know, the really sad thing, you guys, and look, I'm not saying that we should be opening up or doing anything. I think we all need to take care of ourselves and do what's best for us, whatever that is. And only you can decide that. But there was a bar here that I really liked just because the coasters were so cool. And I don't think they're going to reopen up. I think that, you know, the rents here are so crazy high. I think that a lot of the businesses are going to just be done. You know, they just can't. When you're paying $30,000 a month rent and you don't have anybody coming in,
Yeah,
not many people can stay. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah. But even if they opened it back up right now, it wouldn't save them. You know what I mean? So, yep. I have coasters. Let's see what other odd ridiculousness I do. I have some toilet paper rolls as well, like you do. I have. Let's see. My kids would probably be better at typing and saying the oddest things that I have because they just live it. Oh, but I will tell you, you know what? One of my oldest daughter, she lived in she lived in China for a while and then Japan for a while. She brought me the best glass from there, like their version of whatever. Somewhere on my stuff, I have like a Chinese version of Altoids tin with all the Chinese writing on it.
Ooh,
And the packaging from some of them is just so cool. She brought me tons of stuff like that. So I did save that. I haven't gotten rid of all of it, although I probably should. Let's see. Helen is polite. She asked if they reuse coasters, and then if you put any restaurant and if they say no, she takes them. Helen, I don't even ask. Isn't that terrible? I will ask her some if I want like a clean one, like one that I want to like make something specific. I asked her one, and then she says she takes them, and then she starts making journals with them.
well, my husband has them all up in his man cave, and he's got enough, but we still bring them home. So I have a collection building up. I want to make a journal with just the coasters as the pages. Hi, Nana. And yes, Lori, that's the way it is where we have been. There's only 2 or 3 close for us, but when we went into Colorado and stuff, yeah. 3 beers, that's the limit.
They only allow you to have 3 beers.
Yep.
You guys, I quit drinking, so I would be like the worst person to begin with. You know, primarily because I'm allergic. You know, like when you have allergies and you're just kind of in denial about it. Is anybody like that besides me? Yeah, I'm allergic. I love beer. I love especially really dark beer, but I just sneeze all the time, so I'm like, ah, forget it.
Yeah, I'm not a beer drinker. If we went somewhere and they limited 3 beers, Gary could have 6. So, because he could have mine.
I hear it. I don't know what they do here. You know what? Because generally, like 2 drinks in and I'm done. You know what I mean? Like one drink,
Yeah,
and then the second one, I don't even usually drink it all. And then I'm like, okay, I need to go home and go to sleep now. I'm a lightweight.
I am too. 1 glass of wine and I'm ready for bed.
I really
Yeah.
love wine, but it doesn't love me. Like I think I'm allergic to like all the tannins and stuff in it because like I just start sneezing and it's just, yeah, like one of my favorite ones. And I can't drink it anymore, so I just gotta like go with it and just go, okay, thank you. Do you know what I mean? I think of what it is. I think that because I've been on this diet for so long, after a while, when you don't have something, your body becomes desensitized to it. Is it or sensitive to it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. Lori said she agrees. The first one goes down great, and half of the second one, and then she's usually done. I'm like, yeah, I can't even worth it.
I'm not sure I can even get through the first one on a beer. Now, a margarita, that's a whole nother story.
Oh, I love margaritas. I haven't had one in a long time. I'm probably allergic to that too, but
My favorite part about breweries, if you go, there's Texas and New Mexico, I haven't found them so much, but in Colorado, almost every one of them, they have homebrewed root beer too.
Oh,
That
really?
is amazing.
That would be awesome. I don't think I've ever had homemade root beer.
It's a completely different character. I mean, I don't know. It's just good. It's kind of spicy, and it's almost like you can taste pepper in it, but it's not really peppery. I don't know. It's really good.
I'm gonna have to go look at. Janet says that she rescued some live concert posters when they were cleaning up last summer, and they made good journal covers for a couple of your friends. Oh, that's awesome, Janet.
That is cool.
That's good. That's so nice. I love stuff like that. Somebody asked me what I do with all my painty papers. I said everything. I cut them up, I tear them up, I paint on top of them, I put them inside things. What do you do with your painty papers, Jane?
Yes.
All
Everything you just said.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of collage work with them, making things out of them, images from my papers, and I'm loving that. But it's been a long time since I've really sat down and played, so this is kind of exciting.
Well, it's nice to do something without an agenda,
Yeah, definitely.
I think the next, so tomorrow you guys make sure that you come over and take care. What time is the textile?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. The dogs are barking.
I said, what time is the textile auction?
It is at noon Eastern time, I am assuming.
Noon Eastern time. Is it only crochet or is it other textiles too?
I think it might just be crochet, but I'm not sure.
So you guys make sure that if you want to, it's a really great way to support the site and give a few extra art supplies that you may or may not have needed. That you may or may not need. So what's on your crafting tables? Everybody, you gotta tell me. What do you collect candy papers and she puts them in her drawer and she takes them out and looks at them. You know what, Vicki, I have to tell you, that's how I collect other people's painting papers. Like I have some really cool painting papers made by other people that I love. I think painting papers is probably one of my favorite things, like especially other people's painting papers.
Thank you, Janet. These were called neon colors. They're Liquitex Basics. I got them in a set at Michael's. And I never thought I wanted to do the neon at all. And all of a sudden, it's like I don't have any painting papers that don't have a hit of neon in there somewhere.
Okay, so Kim says it's noon Eastern time. Crocheted items made by Violet and Stacy. Oh, that's awesome. Hopefully I'll get up early. You guys, it's like 6 a.m. my time, so that's like 8 p.m. I'm awake, I'll go. Nana says, did anybody see the collages on piano rolls that Luz made? She sold this weekend. Oh, I didn't see them, Nana. You guys, sometimes I get my notifications and sometimes I don't. Is anybody else having that hit or miss experience? Like I can actually be on YouTube or have my computer open to YouTube and I won't even get them. I won't even get the notifications. Does anybody else have that issue? I have it happen to me all the time. Like I didn't get a notification that you were on yesterday, Laura. I may have gotten it after you were off. But I
Do
don't know.
you have? How do you have your bell set? Because
All notifications.
okay, because
I know how
I didn't get a lot of them until I switched them all over to all, and now I get them all the time, and I'm regretting that. But I don't miss the things I want to see that way. So
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, I miss Luz. Laura says she's been getting more notifications now that she reset her iPad. You know, good man. I don't know. You guys, it's like I probably need to clean that everything. Oh, so Vicky says she puts other people's painting papers into phone journals and puts their name on them. Oh, Vicky, that's a great idea. Hi, Lizzie. Oh, we're loving you, Lizzie. How's Jeffrey? How is your Jeffrey? We're making cards for him in our house. I haven't sent them to you. I'll mail them to you soon, Miss Lizzie. If anybody feels like they want to make a card, Lizzie's little grandson could really use one.
hi, Lizzie.
He could just use a cheer me up card. He could just use a cheer me up card.
When I was in Virginia, we went to this amazing antique mall, and I bought 4 piano rolls for $2 a piece.
Oh, that is so cool. Here, I'm going to put Jean's channel in for you. Just give me a second here. I got some piano rolls. Where did I get them? Somebody, I don't remember if I bought them at a sale or somebody sent them to me. Jeffrey's doing much better. Oh, Lizzie, I'm so glad. Big hugs, girl. This is Jean's channel. You have one book for Page Fish and one book for Santa Green. Oh, that's awesome. I've been missing Carla. I mean, I know she's been on a little bit, and I wanted to catch her not every time, but one time I did for sure. I've been missing her, and I saw Shannon's going to be back more on YouTube because she's doing what is it, YouTube in America or something? I don't know. I didn't quite understand it all. I love both of them. Talking about Shannon Green and Carla Caged Fish.
It's crazy. I really like this, and I don't remember what I did.
Oh, that happens to me all the time. Or sometimes I get like a new paint that I really like, and then I don't even know which one I used it on, and then I have like a pile of paint paper, like, oh, I love that color, and I can't find it again because who knows where I got it from. Lynn's lurking and working. Hey, better than me. One line. I have all these things that I need to do. I'm just not doing it. I'm painting book pages that I should have probably recycled, but I'm painting them anyway. I have these book covers that I really love, but I didn't need any more pages, and so then I got rid of most of them. But then when I started looking at them, the pages themselves were really good. So darn, like they're sturdy. I don't know what they're about. That's my downside. Like I don't read what they are sometimes, and that can get you in trouble.
Yeah. Well, after we did our book auction, I pulled a bunch of my books to the side, and I was like, I just don't have book papers for kits or anything, so I figured that was a good place to save them for.
No, I mean it is, especially if they're like things like, books that other people can't find or get.
Oh, well, that sounds really cool, Nana. Very, very, very cool.
What did she do?
They wrote, now I lost it. We hand wrote their wedding dance song lyrics on parts of the piano rolls
Oh, nice.
and used one at the front table for anyone to write notes for a happy marriage.
Oh, Nana, that sounds really lovely.
Yes.
Lizzie says she's looking for pages in Braille. Lizzie, I did have some Braille books at one point in time, but I honestly, I haven't seen them lately, so I don't know if I gave them away or who knows what I did with them. But that's kind of a thing. So maybe if anybody wants to swap with Lizzie and send me some Braille pages.
I got some in tomorrow at 5 o'clock Central Time comes out my video that I'm in a monthly hop with APG Jamie, Tanya McGuire, Lisa Conway, Barbara Clark, and Maria's Miscellany. And one of the papers this time was the Braille, and there was a whole sheet in there. And
I love APG Jamie. She always makes the best, funniest videos, don't you think?
yeah.
No, I like all the people that you mentioned. So you got a Braille piece that you used it in your mixed media work?
Mm-hmm. How long has Care been on?
Is Care on right now?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. That's what Lynn just said.
What is she doing on? Is she talking about her auction for tomorrow?
Probably.
And we're talking about her auction too.
Yeah, double duty advertising there.
Well, I thought the auction hop was a huge success. What did you think?
It was. I think it was really good. It was a long, long thing, but
Was it longer than her normal auctions?
Oh yeah, yeah. But my eyeballs just don't do the computer that long. That's all.
Well, I thought it was a big success. I certainly got some treasures.
I think I did but I have no idea what I got. I need to start, if I'm going to go to auctions, I need to start writing it down because honestly, I don't know. I get a package and I'm going, I remember going to their auction, but what did I get? Which isn't a good thing.
Well,
But
I included in the package that I just sent you. You got napkins from the one I did with them. But I sent you a couple of packages of foreign language book pages, like one with all the foreign ones and one with the Asian ones. Because I figured if you were going to make kits, or I mean, you can use them yourself, whatever. But you could put some in.
cool.
So I did that. I didn't have any more children's foreign language book pages, or I would have sent you that. I'm sure.
Well, I wondered how come I made a label for myself because I didn't remember buying anything, but that doesn't mean I didn't. I just don't ever remember. And it's not that I have a problem.
You just got some from me. You just got napkins. I don't know what you got from anybody else.
Oh, okay. See, I don't have a memory problem per se. I probably have a shopping problem that I don't know what I shop for.
Yeah, I'm like that. Or for me, like sometimes I'll order something, but it takes a really long time to get here, and then
Uh-huh.
I've forgotten about it before. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it can take months for me to get things.
But it is kind of nice to get something and then it's like, oh, yeah, now I remember.
So for those of you that were at the auction and you wanted children's foreign language book pages, and I didn't, I only had 7 sets, and I think we sold 8, or maybe like 20 people wanted them, but I think she had put me down to sell 8, and I only had 7. I had to go back and scrounge through and find what I could, but I'll be on the lookout for more, and then so the next time we have something, I'll have some. So if you didn't get any and you really wanted,
That's cool.
Lizzie, I know you're not asking for anybody to send you anything, but if somebody actually had a Braille book and had some pages, I'm sure they'd be happy to send you some. And book pages in an envelope isn't pricey. You can probably do it for 1 stamp. If you're not like me and send 500 pages. Desmond
Yeah.
Anna said she loved the auction hop. I love the auction hop too. I thought it was really good.
The piece of Braille paper I used, it's just used as a piece of paper. There's nothing glued on it. It's not decorated any way whatsoever because I just wanted to have that paper. It was so exciting. That's kind of silly, but you know.
I understand. I totally understand.
It's kind of like my piano rolls. I haven't used them either. And I have 2 of them with the really ornate beginning, all filigree and gorgeous. I need to use them. That's what I bought them for.
Listen, you know what? Now that I think about it, I might have some Braille paper because I remember somebody sent me some. I'm just trying to remember where I put it. Might be in one of those like, flow style journals when somebody sends you that, or I'm remembering it now because I remember like as you're talking about it, you just want to have it in there. I'm thinking, I think I might have some. I just have to look through my stuff.
You know what I'd like to find is
Lizzie Lynn says, who needs Braille paper? She said, PM her on Facebook and she'll send you some if you make a small donation to Daffy. So there you go. To make a small donation to Defy, she'll send you some. So PM, anybody that's in the chat right now, PM Lynn, she has some. So there you go. There you go, Lizzie. You asked. You asked and it came. It manifested right here. So Nana says that Luz did fabric and ribbon collage on the ornate rolls. It was just beautiful. So
wow.
I'm sorry I missed it. I'm sorry I missed it. So has anybody found any new YouTube people you're enjoying watching you want to share with us? I especially like those people that have super small channels where you go, I feel like I'm, like you really feel like watching them is like making a difference for them and you. You know what I mean? I found somebody recently and she has like under 100 subscribers. I'm trying to remember who it is. I have to go back and look at my YouTube history.
So, Lynn, do you have any shortcuts? Shorthand books? I don't know why I want shorthand. I didn't like it, but
It would be good in a journal.
that's kind of what I was thinking.
had a typing book and I used it all up, like one of those old typing manuals. And it was
Yeah.
awesome. And it was really good in a journal because the pages were kind of funky and small, and you rip them out to have the ends on them.
Cool.
Hi, Sonia. How are you? I'm going to have a lot of painting papers when I end up, or at least the beginnings of the painting papers until they dry, and then I add more. It's like a never-ending painting paper.
Exactly. That's what I'm working on now is my box of started papers that need more embellishments.
Well, like that's is it a stamp you're using, or is it the dot?
Uh-huh.
That I like that.
It's a round wooden stamp that I don't use, and I covered it in bubble wrap, and then when it gets all nasty, then I just put a new piece of bubble wrap on it. It has made some really cool impressions that I haven't got with just bubble wrap. So
Lynn does not have that. She has because she sent her shorthand pages to Care already. She says she has the 1930s typing manual that she can send that will give if you message her, make a small donation to Defy, she'll give you some pages of that. She has foreign language pages and some music. Night, Laura, we love you. Bye, Miss Jersey. I hope you have fun.
Bye, Jersey.
Cole's going to soccer camp. Have fun, Cole. So if anybody wants any of those papers that Lynn was mentioning, message her, and she will, if you make a small donation to Defy, she will send you some. So you donate to Care directly. So what's your thank yous? Anything that you want from her, you just make the donation to the Defy donation link. And Lynn, you can put it in the channel in the description if you want. And then she'll make sure that she'll mail it out to you, but the money goes directly to Defy. Like she's not collecting anything on their behalf. Does that make sense?
I will, Lynn. Thanks.
So yeah, put the link in because I think it's like super awesome. That's awesome, Lynn. Just for a few dollars. You could make a few dollars. It'll be cool. I think that's awesome, Lynn, and it's a good way to get rid of your it's a good way to de-stress too. Yeah.
Hi, Deborah.
Deborah, how are you? So I'll have to make sure. Is your hop video coming out tomorrow? Is it what time of the month is it when you do your hop with them, Jane?
It's on the third Wednesday of every month for 6 months.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
I've been in some really fun hops over the years.
Well, this is really my first one, and I really, really like it, and I really, really want to do it again because it forces me to do something at least once a month, and I don't have to hunt for anything. We send 6 items. We are supposed to use at least 3 of those items, but I usually use them all. That's my goal, is to use all of them.
I was in a super fun hop, I don't know if it was last year, and it was the mystery envelope, and it came from this wonderful YouTube artist named Bea Grob, and I don't know how many of us were in it, but maybe 6 of us, maybe 8 of us. I don't remember, but it was really quite fun to see what everybody. She would mail out the envelopes, and they were because she lives Guys, I think she was in Sweden. They were really cool things. And I like Eugene, tried to use every single thing in it.
Yeah.
Deb says she's still above ground. Well, we're glad you're still above ground, Deb. Better be, girl. I just packed up all your stuff to mail to you. I should send you your tracking number soon. That's farewell.
Well, that didn't pick up anything.
I know my plate has got so much stuff on it. I need to like get a, I don't have a split bottle, so I can't spritz it. But I'm liking the way some of these are coming out. I mean, they're not. I like it when you can still see the writing. So these to me are coming out like super, and they're going to be cut up. So I like them. I'm like, you know, they're not. They need another layer or stuff, but I like they're kind of funky in the way they're coming out.
I think I had too much paint to start with because the first pull comes out just white. This one came out really, really, really cool.
Okay, wait, let me see. Oh, that one did come out good.
Yeah. Yep. It's partially because of this cheap white paint I'm using. This is Dollar Tree paint. I'm not so sure I like it. I love the black. The black is great. The white seems a bit
really comes out
thin.
good, but I only have like one jar, maybe I have two of it, and I'll have it over here where I put it. Is that Martha Stewart paint? I bought it like on clearance somewhere, and I've had it forever. And it comes out, and it wasn't expensive, and it comes out so. I mean, when you put it on, like as your final pull, it'll take everything off the plate, and it's really translucent.
Huh.
I bought it in gold. Next time we come on, I'll try to find it and show it to you. I bought it in gold. I have it in pewter, I think, and I think I have it in silver. I mean, she probably makes the other ones, but I just happened to buy the metallic ones that were on sale. I bought them like so when I go visit my sister, I buy craft supplies. We don't have you guys. We have a Ben Franklin. Nobody has a Ben Franklin on the mainland, and our Ben Franklin. First of all, we're on an island, so it's really and they don't have. It's really more for floral arranging. You know what I mean? Like dried flowers.
Yeah.
So, and I don't do dried flowers. I do have some artificial flowers. You know what I made with mine? Fairies. Made flower fairies. Okay. What do you do with your artificial flowers? Flower fairies.
I have a bunch of them that are going to be kits, I think, just because I don't know what else I want to do with them.
You mean the dried flowers?
Yeah, some soaks and stuff like that. I don't know.
Me, I made all these flower fairies. If I find one, I'll show them to you. I think I might have given them all away. Do you guys ever do that? Like you get on a tangent, you make all that stuff, and you give them all away, and you're like, next. I made flower
Yeah, I do
fairies.
that sometimes.
You can make really cute Christmas ornaments with them. They're really cute.
You know, my biggest downfall is that I make something and it's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So then I go buy enough to make 50 of them.
Oh, I do that too, and then you don't make 50 of them.
No,
Then by the time you're done, you're like, okay, next. Yeah. If you guys seen me yesterday going through looking for these stones, at one point I almost had a breakdown. I was like, why do I have all this stuff I'm never going to use? I have to look it up for you. Don't you guys hang on one second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get myself something to drink, and I'm gonna put everything on June. I'm gonna get myself something to drink and help my body with something really quick. Yes, talk to me yourself. Talk to me things in your artist.
well, Sassy wanted to be part of all this too. So Lynn, is Kier showing what she's got in the auction? bet that's it. I bet she wanted to have you mail her something, Lynn. I'm sure of it. I think when I get these papers all done up, I think I'm going to be making some new painty paper packs. I haven't decided how I want. I'm going to have some scrappy paper packs too. So that way people can use them and not just think that they're too precious to use. That was sweet of your cousin. So what's everybody having for supper tonight? My house is having tacos. And I don't have to cook. That sounds good. Don't really care much for this color of purple, but I'd sure like to get it all used up. So I think I'll just do some paint, plain old painting. It just is kind of dirty looking. And that could be because my water's kind of dirty too. Well, that sounds good. Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
What Lynn's having for supper?
What are you having, Lynn? I want it. You guys, it's not even noon here. The topic of conversation in our house is generally, if you put it out there, nobody can decide what they want for dinner. You know what I mean? Like you go,
Yeah.
my daughter goes, I just want to eat, and then everybody's just like, whatever you want. And then, yeah.
Mine is whatever you want to cook. That's mine. And I even when he says, do you want this or this? And I'll sit there and I'll act like I'm pondering. And then I just say, just fix whichever one's easiest for you. So, yes, my husband does most of the cooking too.
You a good cook? Is Mr. Gary a good cook?
He is a very good cook. See, I figure I cooked for the first 25 years of our marriage. So it's his turn for the next 25.
Oh, I get it. Sometimes after you've cooked all these years, you're just like, You're like, I don't want to cook anymore. You're just like over it.
Yep. And it's funny because I'll eat all kinds of food now just so I don't have to cook.
You'll eat all kinds of things that you didn't want to eat that you didn't eat before.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Yeah. Cooking is just not one of my favorite things anymore. I have better things to do. Like play and paint and all that good stuff.
And now I hear you. You guys make sure that you head over to Kara's channel to get and hit your notification bell for when she's gonna do the auction tomorrow or they're at 12 noon. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Just you want how to draw some profit. Take care. I need to guys, I only been working with coffee until like 6 o'clock this morning. Or maybe even earlier. Lizzie said she just told Papa you need to have tacos too because she doesn't want to cook. I know, right, Lizzie? I love penny papers. It's such an addiction. How many of you guys are addicted to penny papers? You know what? When I'm really stressed out, if I can just sit down and paint papers, it makes me better.
Yep. Well, no wonder I'm having trouble hearing you. I have the volume down.
Oh, okay. There you go. I wasn't saying anything that good, so it didn't really matter. Oh, Lynn said when she was a kid, one of her cousins sent her a dead seahorse taped in a letter. But when you're a kid, you're gonna think that's amazing. You're like, wow. Hi, Lori. Hey, Curly's here. She said Janet, she was watching you and Melanie eat those jelly tops. What are jelly tops? Oh my gosh, now I'm gonna want that. We had what did we have last night? We had chili last night. We had keto chili. How many of you guys are on a keto diet? My daughter makes the best keto chili. It was so good. It was. If you're not a meat eater, though, it might not be good because it was. This one was. I mean, you can make it vegetarian, but this one was meat. But it was so good. She makes it with like 3 kinds of meat: bacon, sausage, and ground meat. But it's amazing, actually. I think it's the bacon. You know, like even when I was
Bacon makes everything better.
right, even when I was vegetarian, like I would still dream of bacon. Is that ridiculous?
That's okay. I make pretty good chili, but
my chili I make, the best chili I make, my partner calls Texas Treater chili.
uh-huh.
And but because I don't eat all that on the keto diet, it's not so easy. But I can make what I call cheater chili, where you make chili that tastes like you've been cooking it for like days, but it's really only been no time. That's why I call it Texas cheater chili.
Do you put? Here's the big question: do you put beans in your chili or no beans?
You can do it either way, and I can make it vegetarian or I can make it with meat.
See, I think if it doesn't have beans, then it's just hamburger gravy.
I understand, but like some people like on a keto diet, you can't have beans. So that's been, and I'm a big beans and rice person. Like I can make any kind of bean from scratch. That I think that's my superpower. Like some people have superpowers. That's my superpower.
Cool.
But I've been on keto so long, I don't really make them. I don't make beans anymore.
Oh,
You can have. I mean, I make green beans, but that doesn't count. You can make you can use black soybeans, but I have never tried those. You can eat zucchini beans, which I think are from. I think those are. They look like a big fat lima bean, but they're Italian. I think they're really supposed to. I think they're supposed to be seeds. I'm not 1,000% sure. I've never bought them. But yeah, beans were. My honey's mother still talks about coming to my house and me making her black beans from scratch, and she thought that was a big deal. But I just thought it was easy. You know what I mean? I was like, I made like chicken and I made rice and beans and a salad and made my husband get a roast of chicken sauce. And I made cornbread. And I felt like I hadn't cooked it because it was like easy, right? But she still talks about beans. I think a
Black
lot of
beans
people.
are my favorite beans.
Oh, mine too. Mine too. I just think a lot of people don't cook. You know.
Yeah. My favorite chili, and I've just started doing this, is when Gary smokes a brisket or pork butt or something.
We
Then the
do that.
leftover goes in the freezer, and then we put it in chili, and it cooks all day long. It is
Yeah.
so good.
Do you have an Instapot or a hot pot? I mean, or a pressure cooker?
I have one. I've only used it a few times. I think it's just
Jane,
more
could you use
more
it
work.
every? No, it's not. It is so not. It is so not. I mean, I've had a pressure cooker for years that was not an Instapot, but I don't know for whatever reason. Oh, I think I needed to get a new. I have a really old pressure cooker, and I needed to get a new part for it. And I think the Instapot was cheaper than me getting a new part for my cooker. You know,
Yeah.
and so I bought one, and I use. We probably use it every day.
Huh. I need to do that. I still
I'm
like
telling
my crock pot.
but no, but this cooks it. Okay, so like spaghetti. Do you eat pasta sauce, spaghetti sauce, or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
So you know how long it takes it to taste good? Like it needs to cook all day. So you could basically throw your ingredients. Well, I would tell you if you're going to eat meat in it, brown your meat before you put it in there because, or brown it in the pot because it the texture of your meat is different if you just do it from raw. Not pork, but not like
Yeah.
pork roast, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So brown your ground meat and then add all the other ingredients right to the pot. So like being on keto, I eat more, stuff that doesn't have anything in it, like no preservatives. If I, you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
I bought like an enormous can of like tomatoes. If I don't want to make it from scratch, like if I don't want to, the part I hate about peeling tomatoes or making it from scratch is sometimes the seeds can make your sauce bitter.
Yes.
And so I'm like, I don't have the time to be de-seeding some tomatoes. Okay. You know? So if you take your Instapot, so I buy like an enormous jar of, I think they're just canned tomatoes from, and they may be even whole, I don't even know, or fresh from Costco. Huge one. It's like $2, and it's probably like 5 gallon. It's like huge. I don't know how many gallon. It's big. It's a big, huge
Mm-hmm.
can. It's like in kitchen industrial size,
Yeah.
And I put like so for spaghetti sauce, brown your meat, whatever you're gonna brown it, with onions or without, it doesn't matter. Then chop up everything else: your garlic, your onions, all your spices, add your tomatoes, your salt, whatever your seasoning is. Put it into your instant pot and turn it on for 15 minutes. And by the time it cools up and cools down, it'll taste like it's been cooking all day. The same with your chili. The same with your um, anything that tastes better the second day. You know. Hey,
Oh.
and I'm telling you, so like we made chili last night in our Instapot. So what we did was browned sausage and bacon. We browned the ground meat and the ground sausage, and then cooked the bacon in with it for a little bit, right? And then chopped up all the onions and chopped up all the onions and any vegetable peppers, whatever you're going to put in it. Add your tomato sauce, add your seasonings, and put it into the Instapot. And within 20 minutes, you have chili that tasted like you cooked it the day. And the same with leftovers. So like if you have your leftover brisket or whatever, add it to that. Like we made like pulled pork the other day from like a leftover brisket, you know, just put it in an Instapot
Uh-huh.
or leftover pork butt, put it in the Instapot and I don't know, maybe 25 minutes and with all the seasonings on it and you know, we made it barbecue style, so put the barbecue seasonings on it. But what it does is it just try it. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys eat a lot of soup in the winter and stew and stuff like that? Oh my god, the best chicken and dumplings ever from an Instapot.
I've heard that, but I don't know. I make pretty darn good chicken and dumplings.
But it's your recipe. You just put it in the Instapot.
But it doesn't take that long normally.
I don't know. It's just like anything that you want that tastes better the second day. Any sort of sauce, stew, soup, taco meat. You can cook it in like hardly no time, and it's one pot. That's it. You can brown in it and then cook right in it, and then eat out of it, and then clean it up.
Yeah.
It works for me. I mean, I actually try it a few more times. I have never. One of my kids makes bread in hers, but I have never done that. Like she makes cakes and bread and all kinds of stuff like that. That I have not done.
Yeah, I did some pork in there, and I think I had with mushroom gravy, and I think I had too much liquid, and so it was not real good. And
You have to use less than you think.
yeah. I'm just gonna have to get courageous. It was kind of crazy that the first time I used it, I was so scared of it because pressure cooker. Growing up, I know what kind of things that could have done. I've heard about them break. My grandma was like, "Don't go near that while we're doing this," and so I actually in my kitchen, one counter has got all windows, and the other counter's got all cabinets. So I made sure that I moved things around so the part that has all cabinets. That way, if my Instapot exploded, it wouldn't break my windows too.
I don't see how it could, honestly.
What?
I'm
I
used to a regular
didn't.
pressure cooker, and
Uh
so I
huh.
know how that can happen. I know how that can happen, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know with an Instapot how it could. But I don't know. All I can tell you is that first of all, where we live is very hot. So if you don't want to heat up your kitchen, it's a good alternative. It takes no time.
Yeah.
My daughter even made. You know what? My daughter even made one there, and they came out perfect. She made a bunch of hard-boiled eggs the other day.
Wow.
I know, right? She was wanting to make some sort of deviled eggs or something. Your pressure cooker was scary way back when, Peggy, but now I think they revolutionized the technology. We were talking about you, Peggy, how superwoman like you are, how you were at Aaron's sale the other day, putting all of this to shame. You were shopping and cleaning. I was like, I need to be like Peggy. She's like, okay, I mopped my basement floor. I did this. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Hi, Laura. Yeah, I think I was just afraid of it from when I was younger. But I did. I took every precaution for that thing if it was going to blow up. In fact, I even took the lid off and with a wooden spoon, and I threw a towel over my arm so if it came back, I wouldn't get burnt.
Oh my God, no, it's nothing like that.
Yeah, I learned that, but
I mean, I used to cook with a regular pressure cooker, which is a little like that if you don't get it sealed right.
yeah.
Yeah, if you don't get it sealed right. But no, this is that one. This is like an instant coffee maker. You know what I mean? Like you put all of it in, you turn it on, and it's done. So Paint Girly wants us to show her all our painting papers. But give me a minute. Mine are just the first stages. Jean's doing the second round of hers. Hers are amazing.
Let me get them rounded up. Stuck off my fingers here.
Peggy says she remembers her grandmother throwing a wet towel on top before letting go of the steam. So mine are just round one of the papers. You know, mine have a lot more. Mine is more help than James. James got hers down. Hers are like hers are round two. You painted, what did you say? You sent them yesterday and then today's the detail painting?
Some of these I did yesterday, and some of them have had in the box. You know, the box that says these are too ugly to use.
Oh, you know what? Do you ever find that your ugliest ones turn out to be your favorite ones later on?
Yes, always.
All the time.
Now, some of my still needed work ones still need work because I just filled in spots. But
mine haven't worked out yet. I'm gonna put you on. I'm gonna put Jean on for full screen, and then you guys can all look at hers first. Let me see. Mine are not anything to really see yet, but all right, Jean, you are on full screen.
So this one is on glossy paper, and I did this yesterday. I might still put some black marks on it because I put black marks on everything.
Yeah, but I love that. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Thank you.
So nice.
And this one is on glossy paper. We were trying yesterday to see what we could do with glossy paper. And some parts of it worked and some didn't, but you know, you just keep adding on. And this one might need something. There's no neon colors on this one, so it's probably going to need something.
Glossy paper, like as in glossy, like printer
photo paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this one I like. I like this one. I'm probably going to call this one done.
I like that.
And I'm probably going to call this one done.
Oh, I love that one.
I like to take the paint in a paintbrush and just make my marks. And this one. And this one I don't really like. I'm not sure if I'll put anything else on it or.
What don't you like about it?
I don't know yet. I'm just on the fence with it.
I think it depends upon what you're going to use it for, because I think sometimes we see that the color is so strong or whatever, but when you can think about it as if it's a component put through a die cut machine or a piece of a collage or a background that you're going to add on to, then it changes the whole perspective.
Yes, exactly. That's why, you know, I feel like there's several stages of painting papers.
I agree.
You know, you get your base down and then you can add some more layers and more layers, but you just keep going until you're happy. And this one, I hated. I really disliked it. And just adding all the extra stuff on it, I kind of like this one too. And some of these need some white, and I'll either go with my white paint pen or a better white than the white I have out here. If I was in the studio, I could have just grabbed another one. Okay, and this one was actually one of my back papers, you know, that I worked on and cleaned my brush and stuff. So I just added some other marks and messes on it. And this one was a spray background paper, just piddling. I mean, it's just construction paper. And I put the stencil over here when it was wet and, you know, blotting paper, and just added some other things to it.
Oh, I love it.
And this one I just did a little bit ago on my paper that was just kind of my catch-all paper. This one was inspired by yours, Shelley. You had all those layers and streakies, and so I did that, and that's what came out. And this is its second pull.
Yeah, I like that.
And then this one,
ooh, I love
this one is the ugly, well, not ugly, because I like that pink. But it was Temper Paint from Dollar Tree, and it is so thin, and I've never used anything like it, and I did not like that. I
Well, the good
did
thing,
these all on the jelly plate, Peggy, and I never had any problem. Kim did, but I didn't.
so the thing about tempera paint though, Jean, is if it's thick, most tempera paint is thick, it flakes off. So the fact that yours is,
Oh,
because don't you remember as a kid, we used to paint posters and paint these big things for paper mache things, and the paint all flakes off when it's tempera paint if it's thick.
yeah. Yeah, the painting paper or the photo paper is very hard to pull off of the jelly plate, but I never had any stick. Kim did. It actually ripped Kim's jelly plate. This was the very first pull yesterday when I did them. I used my jelly plate as a paint palette all the time, and I just left it dirty. And then I put some yellow over it. This is my favorite paint for lifting dirt off is the Goldens. This is it's just one of their fluids. It's not one of their high flows or anything, but it pulls up paint so good. And then this was that pink, and it just wasn't doing anything, so I mixed it with some white, and it was a little better. And these are my hand cut stencils. And this one's just a start. I was just kind of piddling. Sometimes when I just want to clean my plate, that's where I get the coolest stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
And this is my brayer clean off. It's still a work in progress.
I like that.
Well, I've done some Christmas ornaments for our art association. I did a sheet of red, and a sheet of green deli paper. Reds and all different greens, and then made ornaments, covered paper mache ornaments, and they sold immediately. So it's really cool. This one is on the glossy paper too, and some of the metallic paints. I just bought the metallic paints. They're different to work with. I'm too new at it to know whether I like it or not. They're just different.
With the metallic paint or the glossy paper?
Both. Maybe it was just the combination of the two. I don't know. But the metallic paint seems to be thin too, but I don't know. It seems thin when I put it on the paper. It doesn't seem like it comes out thin, if that makes any sense.
So Jean, Lizzie's asking how you did your glossy paper. Peggy's advising don't put the glossy side down, but you obviously did. Stop.
Right. It is very, very hard to pull up. Very hard. You can feel it pulling. And yesterday, Kim actually ripped her jelly plate in a spot trying to pull it up. And I know others have said they've had it stick, but I didn't have any of it stick. But my whole plate was covered in paint. And Kim decided that when hers tore, it wasn't completely covered in paint. And it's if you're going to do it, be very careful. Pay attention to what you're doing. That's all I can say. It worked fine for me. Will I do it again? Probably not, because it really was a lot more work. And I found other things. This background did not ever stick. And this was the most fun I ever had on the jelly plate was this one. What I used were these. The Stabilo Woodies, which gelatos or the Scribble Sticks or Vicky Boutin sticks or the Distress crayons, all of those they're all kind of the same. In fact, even the kids' gel crayons work the same way. And I just misted my jelly plate and I scribbled all over it with these. And it just was watercolor squishy. And then I just used the glossy paper, and I really liked it, and it never stuck anywhere. But it already had water on the plate before, so that's probably why. Okay. But I really, really, really liked it. I think several of these had that on there. I've already went through them, so I'm not sure which ones.
Peggy's saying you cannot leave glossy paper to sit on the plate.
Yes, I can definitely agree with that. I didn't leave it set, but there were some times that I probably left it set too long because it was very hard to pull. And, if you didn't have a little bit of strength in your hands and fingers, you would never get it up without soaking it off. So, and then this one was the jelly plate with regular paint, and then I just filled in stuff. I think it still needs some white too, but like I said, I don't have the white in here. Not a good one. And this one was, I was trying to clean up my texture plate that's made by Gel Press. And I wanted to get inside of the circles. I wanted to get the part that wasn't supposed to be painted clean. So
Yeah.
I covered it with white paint. And I don't know how well you can see it, but I think it looks like an old vintage rose garden. You can see a little bit of the circles and the pink and the black, and I really like that, even though it was just to clean up my plate. And then after I decorated those, then I went in and pulled out some of my other papers that had some paint on them. This one is jelly printed. I took pigment ink pads and just put them on there and then printed it, and I got this kind of washed out blocky looking thing. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm game to try anything. If I ruined a jelly plate, then I won't ever experiment again. So as long as I haven't ruined it. I'm not 100% sure. This one I was still working on adding stuff to, but I think this is possibly the crayons again. I'm not sure. This one's not glossy paper. These are old ones that I've had in my box. I have a box that says needs more work, and that's what these are. And then these are just papers that need more work.
I love them. They're actually really cool.
And I've started kind of adding some other colors to them. I'm an orange fanatic, so there's always going to be orange. And then this is the one I was just working on. I added all the orange and pink, and then did some stenciling. And
for the ones that are double-sided, are you going to put them together in a journal?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with them until I pull them out and do something with them. These are great big. These are the big construction paper. My paper that I use, if I'm not using deli paper or printer paper, I use this True Ray construction paper. I paint on it, even with watercolors and other things. It ripples a little bit, but I don't know. It really holds up to wet media. And when you think of construction paper, you think of rough and very absorbent. But this stuff, I love this stuff. I love it.
What's the brand?
True Ray.
Is it TRURAY or TRUERAY?
I think it's TRUERAY.
Okay.
It's 2 words. You can get it on Amazon, and I did order the big ones on Amazon. And unless you need the big paper, I would advise to get the size that's this. It is bigger than a regular sheet of paper. 'Cause it's construction paper. And the reason why is to get the big one, you get 25 sheets, and it's like $6.99. And to get the one that's already this size, and if you notice, I've got them all folded in half anyway. It is $1.99 for 50.
Oh,
so you're
$1.99 for 50.
Yeah, you're getting the same amount of paper regardless. And so, it's a big difference. But I get it at Hobby Lobby because that's where I get it for $1.99 is at Hobby Lobby.
Being an enabler. Go get your True Ray watercolor. I loved all your papers. Well, here, I'll show you guys mine. Mine are not as nice as Jane's because I just started. And I'm using a big book block. I am using a, let me find the book. I think it was a sort of an encyclopedia. I don't think I have one with the cover anymore. But I'm using this. It's called Today's Best Nonfiction. Oh, you know what these were? These were newer Reader's Digest. These were from I use the covers for making you know, Trump journals, and these are from like 1997. The pages are really good. Lots of it. Okay. I don't have to go buy it. I use it. I have use what I have. So that's what I'm jelly printing on. And these are the first layers. So I don't. The colors are not true when you see them on the screen. You know, because this is like metallic orange. It doesn't look metallic orange, does it to you?
No, not really.
Neon orange and a metallic gold. So I don't know how true the colors are going to be, but I'm into a neon phase as well. So these are just the beginnings of the. But for me, I use mine and cut them up and make serendipity paper or cover the inside or ATC background or I don't know, whatever journal pockets, tabs. I mean, and I'm going to continue to work on them. But for me, like book pages, not all book pages are created the same. So if you have a hang up, don't use book pages because they can peel off on your plate, right? Have you used book pages on your plate, Shane?
Yes.
Like this is a really beautiful page. I don't think you can see it. It's like gold. It's got shimmery. It's got gold and like chartreuse green. See, but on the camera it looks brown and muddy green. So you can't really see the true colors. I don't know why. These are neon colors, and I don't think they come across as neon. So these are layer 1 of mine. So we'll see how layer 2 comes out after they dry really well. And I think I'm just going to one-side these. So this is my favorite so far, these like dry brush ones. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know, you can't really tell, but they're like that brush stroke sound. So for me, painty papers for me, I think is a catch-all for anything that I may want to create in the future. And I've taken these and I put them through, fussy cut them or put them through a die cutting machine and cut all kinds of shapes and sizes, use them in my greeting cards, use them in, you know, anything.
And they're your own work.
Yeah, they're my own work, and then nobody can say to you, "Oh, well, you know, you copied my
Yeah.
right?" But I particularly like using book pages more. I mean, I will definitely try your. I don't like deli paper. I will say I do love deli paper, but I don't think there needs to be a reason to do it. Like you can't see this. This has these are my favorite. I've had them for a long time. These Lindy Stamp Gang sprays. And this has some sprayed on the jelly plate underneath. And if you ever have used these, they really have a wonderful shine to them, luster, but you can't really see it on this page. I mean, in the camera. Like, these are metallics, and I don't think you can tell. Can you tell?
Yeah, just slightly. Right there.
Yeah, they're nicer in person, though. So, yeah, this is how I make my own wrapping paper. Do you guys ever do that? This is how I make my own wrapping paper, but I usually will use newsprint just because it's bigger, because most packages I'm wrapping are this small. But just say if I wanted to use this as my own wrapping paper, what I might do is I might get a larger sheet of newspaper, and then I might cut these into fussy cut, you know what I mean, or put them through die cutting machine and just put them all over the paper. Do you know? So I make my own wrapping paper like that. So,
well, I cut out wrapping paper altogether 2 years ago.
You cut out.
I made cloth bags out of Christmas fabric because I had tons of it, and they can't take the bags home with them. So I've always got something to wrap their presents in.
That's a good idea. I mean, I honestly, you know what? For me, we're getting to the point where, although we do have one child at home that is a that's a Christmas age type of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're pretty much to the point now where we're not even doing presents. My kids are like, don't buy me any, don't give me anything.
Yeah.
So Lizzie's getting inspired.
Awesome.
And I think for me, painting on papers, whether I jelly print or just paint freehand on papers, for me, it's like a therapy.
Yeah, you can get lost in it.
Yeah, definitely. And then you get lost in the ideas of what you're going to do with them. Like I've taken them and like made journals, and then like on the front of journal pockets and stuff we cut or put just a piece of my painting paper or cut strips of them, put them in there as like belly bands or tabs or just an embellishment on the page. So especially if you're making one that's pretty plain, you know?
Yeah, and I like them because if you have one that's kind of doesn't have, I mean, to me, this is plain. And I mean, I got some details, but I usually like doodle all over them, But you can take it and okay, this one's even plainer. We'll go with this one. You can cut that out right there in a strip, and then doodle on top of that. Draw on just the piece you cut out, and then it's a whole little work of art that you've stuck somewhere. But you get your base out of your painting papers. So I'm getting better at not doodling them all up right away because I do like to tear them up and use them and then add more marks to them.
Yeah, like here's one that I made. Here's like a little purse journal that I made that has one of the painting papers I made. And I think this was from, I think this one might have been a newspaper. I don't know if you can really see it. It's made it into a book cover so you can stick it in your purse.
Cool.
Now, I have one. Let me see if I can find it. Hopefully I didn't throw it. I'm telling you, I'm to the point. Have you guys ever gotten to the point where you're like, I can always make more?
Yeah.
Like you're right. I'm going to throw that away. I can always make more. But let me see if I can find this book. I had it over here. I was like going through all these like little books and stuff I had made. How many of you guys are little book makers? Tiny book makers. Let me just see if I can find this tiny book I have. Okay, here we go. So here's one of my meander books that I made, and these all have painting papers on them. And then, so now you can kind of get an idea of like what I do with the painting papers after I've made them. So I don't know if you can see it. So this is just a meander book, and it has painting papers all in it. Okay, so then you see, so I cut them all up, put them inside.
I love it.
Here, let me just see. I know, right? So this is like somebody. I get questions all the time because most of the things that I like to make, not that I don't look, I love a good art supply, but if you can make it out of something that's going to be in a landfill and you live on an island, do it. So for me, do you see? So these are all painting papers. And then.
Good night, Janet. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Janet. So these are all painting papers, all of them that I've cut up, and collaged up. So if you see them and they're like really crazy colors, but then after you collage them in a piece, do you see it's not the same. You know what I mean?
It's not.
So even though you may think it's the ugliest paper you've ever made, you can always find something amazing for it, right?
And there's always a piece of it that's going to be pretty. Always.
Yeah, always, right? But see, if you don't like it all together, see, these are all pieces that, like this was painting paper on a magazine page. This is painting paper on a book page. Painting paper on a book page. You know, it's like they're all different papers, so you can make something out of it, right? And I more greeting cards. Like if I'm going to give somebody a card, it's going to be something I made like this, like where it's a hodgepodge of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like, it's me.
That's right.
Right? I wonder if I can open it up so you can see the whole paper of how it was. Because what I did was I just made this meander book out of it, but it was one piece that I collaged all my painting papers on both sides. Yeah, so you can see it kind of whole here. There you go. You can see it whole, like all the different painting papers that I painted and collaged on. And I don't know if the words were risque because sometimes I don't really look at that.
Yeah.
So that's one side of it, and it's all painting papered and then glued down on, and then this is the other side. So even though you think your painting papers are loud and wild, I think when you put them like this, I think they change. Don't you?
I agree, and I really, really like the color scheme on that, and I tend to do everything in bright colors. I don't even know if I could get myself to use blues, just blues and greens.
Well, for me,
Blue
it's
is my least favorite color, though. So
you have to realize that none of these were done in one sitting. So these were all magazine pages that I jelly printed on with like these really pastel-y blues. And then these I think are from, I think these might be some of these Lindy Stamp Gang sprays or paint down the bottom and then the Stamp Gang spray on top. These are sprays through stencils on book pages. You know, it was not all in one sitting. So it would have been like today, and then I collect them when I started making it. I think this might have been I made this so long ago, I don't know. This might have been, no, it's just painting book pages. I think I just took a scraper and scraped paint all over it, and then I glued stuff on top.
it's really cool.
It wasn't like like sometimes you sit down and you go, oh, it wasn't like that. And it wasn't,
Yeah.
I'm sure, in one thing. I'm sure it was like, I had all these papers and I was like, I have to use all these papers because this is ridiculous, you know?
Yep.
So for it you would buy that. Oh, Laura, you're so sweet. You are so sweet. You guys are cute. No, I'm just saying that all of this was this. It's exactly what I'm doing here, but it was just in little bits and pieces, right? So maybe I would go through and sort all the blue ones together or all the green ones together. I don't know, you know? No,
Yeah, Laura, that is sweet, but I would have said, did you need my address?
you guys are too cute. But I'm just saying, all of my stuff. So I should break out and buy some. My buddy has really nice supplies, and occasionally I use them. But honestly, I just go for the trash that I have.
Yeah.
I feel, you know why? I think if I lived anywhere else, I might not do that. But for me, living here, everything gets put in a landfill. Every single thing that you don't find a use for. And so I think that's why I collect things that I maybe wouldn't necessarily collect because I'm like, oh, it's going to go in a landfill, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's why if I can use I do buy paint, I do buy glue sticks. Somebody's going to say that's not helpful because they're plastic, and I know all that. I haven't gotten over my glue stick thing. I like glue stick because it works better for some things than wet glue, right?
I prefer a glue stick, yes.
But somebody's going to say, "Oh, you're trying to be conscious," but that goes in the landfill. Hi, Malia. Oh, Malia, we just decided we were just going to hang out and have some fun. There was no plan to it. I just asked Jean a couple days ago, you want to stream? She goes, yeah, what day? But how about Tuesday? She's like, okay. You guys make sure you go over and join Jean's channel. How many of you guys are already subscribed to her? You're so sweet. You're so sweet, Laura. Make sure you guys go subscribe to her. And, it's really fun. And you'll learn a lot. Jean is a very accomplished artist. And you will learn a ton just by watching you, Jean.
Well, thank you. I just play. I really don't ever play. I mean, occasionally I do. I can't say I don't ever because occasionally I will plan something. And a lot of times I have a basic outline in my head. But when it's done, it's nothing like that. So I let the art do what it wants to do most of the time. And sometimes, like when I'm filling up my paper with marks after I've already got a layer or two of paint, that is totally unthought of. I just start and it just happens. And I love it.
I can relate to that. I think that's how I make, that's how I journal or how I make, the little small collage cards or ATCs or whatever. It has to be like a stream of consciousness, not necessarily a thought out. I think I don't work well with a thought out plan.
I don't either. Most of the time it's very difficult for me. And I'm definitely have no box. And if you try to keep me in there, it's never going to work. My biggest story about my style is for 8 years I worked in a bead store. And so I taught a lot of classes. And I even taught color theory and designing. We did a whole one-day workshop. And I can't do a patterned piece of jewelry. All my jewelry that I've ever made is very random as
Yeah.
far as stringing the beads or it could have this many strung beads and then this much wire work and it's whatever. And um I totally just lost my train of thought.
No, because you're talking about you worked in a beach store and trying to conform to what they, designs that people are familiar with, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm on track here. When I taught this class, I taught them how to do random, and I made it look like a pattern, but it was really random when it was all done. And I explained to them that I had a beautiful turquoise and lime green shirt, and it was striped, and I loved it. But the two colors, there just wasn't anything else that would go with it. So with two colors, it's hard to get an assortment of beads. So I did a patterned necklace. It was big bead, little bead, green bead, turquoise bead. And needless to say, I wore it one time and I had to take it off because it bothered me. It was like choking me to death because it was too predictable. So that's how I come up with that way to do the random, and it really works. And I have tried to take that technique into paper art and get people more random. It's not as easy, but it's okay. It works. It just takes a little bit. Yes, you do, Peggy, and thank you very much.
So also, let's see what else is. Malia says she loves us. We love you, Malia. And then Peggy says she buys some. I have Jean's art. I love her. She's one of my favorite people to buy from. In fact, last auction I bought a couple of pieces from her, and I reluctantly gave up one because I had a friend that really liked who wanted a piece. But I compromised. I said, send the box. I'll keep the pieces inside. So that felt like a compromise. Maybe if it wasn't a complete compromise. Peggy says she's always colored outside the box, and I think that is something we have to just allow ourselves to be who we are. I have a hard time with, and I think some of you ladies make the most amazing journals, but I don't make pretty journals. I don't, and I've tried, and you guys, it's painful for me. How many of you guys have that issue with making like my kind of journal, which is like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like I have a hard time. Like, okay, so we have this design team project for Defy, which I'm enjoying, but I'm also like struggling with because it's like it's like got beautiful images and stuff in it, but I don't know how to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and I find I'm not your normal. I don't want to put a bunch of lace and frou-frou in a journal, but I want it full and bulky and lots of stuff. So and it doesn't matter because I can do it grungy and dirty like my hands, or I can do it prettier. But I do like to do just whatever happens, and if it has a plan, great, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. And you know what, Laura? I bet you that I could get you to make a random piece of jewelry with my technique. So whenever you want to come over and try it, you're more than welcome.
Well, we're on our way. What are you talking about? Whenever we get over, we're on our way, girl. No, I mean, I'm with you. I don't know. I've always seen like, have you ever gotten discouraged? I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this. So you're watching other people make their artwork. This is how it was when I was younger. I'm not so much that way now, but you watch other people make their artwork and you go, oh, I like what they're doing. I mean, it's beautiful, but it doesn't resonate with me. So maybe I should just give up this. So I was like that when I was making jewelry because people would come to my space and they would be like, they would bring this is the epitome of what they bring is a Tiffany's catalog and say, I want a ring like this. And this is bad business practice, but I would say that if I were you, I would go buy it from Tiffany's because they do that better than I do, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I met, and you guys should look up this guy. He's phenomenal. It wasn't until I met this jewelry artist because I was making jewelry out of like, I'm telling you, found objects, steel nails that came out of my husband's great grandfather's barn. Like he hand forged all these nails, and they were in piles. I mean, they were in the same place for over 100 years, and they were just in piles on the side because obviously nobody is farming like that now. And I picked them up and made jewelry out of them, or like the barbed wire I found when I was in Israel, or all the different things. But I was making jewelry like that for years, and finally I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do this for a living if every single person I run into only wants tippy copies, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that why buy a copy of that when you can buy that, Like,
right.
And then I met this jeweler, and his name is Bob Ebendorf, spelled Ebendorf. I think it's one F or two F's. Look him up. He's probably one of the best jewelry artists I've ever. And he's a lovely man. And he makes intuitively what he feels. And one of my friends says, "Oh, I was living in New York City. She was like, I'm taking a class from this guy. You might like him." I didn't know anybody, you guys, because I was a self-taught person. And I was like, okay. And so he asked before you start class that one of the things in prerequisite, and I think it was like a week-long class. I was living in New York City. He asked that you bring in your work, bring in a box of your work. So I was like kind of embarrassed because I'll find something. I just don't have anything in front of me. I'll find something and show you some of the stuff I've made. At that time, I was cutting out, this is going to sound so bizarre and random. I lived in New York City, and they have the best trash. And I was taking these enormous caviar cans that were coming from a big delicatessen on the Upper East Side, and I was taking them home, and they were printed in all these vibrant colors and in other languages. And I was taking them home and cutting out the pieces of metal like they were stones and setting them into rings. From old caviar cans, right? And so when we got there, and I was making those old nail rings, and when we got there, and I was making a car had a wreck on the block I lived on, and the back part of his car had this crazy yellow and red glass for their the reflectors, and I picked up that. So I dumped my jewelry. I was kind of embarrassed because I was like, oh my God, am I going to go and everybody's going to be like, they're going to be pulling out their diamonds and their rubies, right? And I'm going to be pulling out my, caviar cans, and you know what I mean? You get the picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I dumped mine out, and then people were like, "Oh, you could tell people." Some people were like, "Yeah, it's a little weird," but whatever. It was my work, so what did I care? Then he dumps out his work, and I started to cry. You guys, at that time, he was making things from rusty bottle caps like me. He was making things from the sample tiles of Formica, and it was unbelievably gorgeous. You guys look him up. His name is Bob Ebendorf. I don't know how much longer he'll be around because he's not super young, but he's a pioneer in the mixed media art jewelry world, if there is such a thing. And I think you guys would all enjoy it. But it kind of brings you back to your sort of aesthetic of whether you can paint inside the box or whether you can color inside the box or not, And not that it matters one way or the other. Your self-expression is yours, right?
Correct.
But sometimes I think it's good when you meet somebody else that you kind of maybe go, wow, we could color in this. We could play in the same sandbox together,
Exactly. Do you know who Susan Lennart Kazmar is?
Yes, I do.
I took a class with her in Santa Fe many years ago, and it was amazing. It was so amazing.
So if you like her, Bob Ebendorf was her teacher.
Oh.
Go look him up. He is amazing.
I actually have a ring that she made. I had this little bitty tiny dental floss tin, very vintage. and I was like, how am I going to use this? Because I took her talisman class, and I still have the bracelet. I don't wear it because it's way too heavy. But I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. And she says, here, let me show you what I would do with it. And she pokes a hole in the bottom and the top and makes makes a ball on my silver wire and made me the coolest ring. I still have it.
See, that's what he makes. I mean, he's like that. When you see it, you'll see his influence in her work. Yeah, he definitely unleashes your. After I met him, I finally felt like, not that I met my tribe, because I mean, I don't see him. I mean, I've only seen him a few times in my life, but you feel like, wow, there's more to that. My train of thought is not solely. Like he would have appreciated that I was picking up bottle caps in South America.
Yeah.
Hi, Jilly. Hey, Sage. That's my youngest daughter, Seisha, right there. She's like saying hi to us. She has.
Hello.
She's an amazing artist. She is an artist herself. She does all kinds of. She made the best self-portrait of me. I'll have to show you guys another time. It's on my fridge. It's hilarious.
Cool.
So well, tomorrow Care's auction is at 12 noon, and you guys, if you're not subscribed to her channel, let me put the link in here for you to go. First of all, jump over to Jean's channel, say hi, and subscribe to her. And then tomorrow Care's auction at noon Eastern time, and it's crochet. It's just crochet, so far as we know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
So there's Care's channel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can get invited to, and sometimes, you know what, you guys, even if you don't like buy anything, just having a community of people there makes the auction more fun. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yes, and we have giveaways too.
Oh, they're going to give. What kind of giveaways are you guys doing tomorrow? Do you know?
I don't know.
Whatever Care decides at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's gonna. It'll be fun. You guys it'll be a fun day to go and hang out, and it'll make you feel like it's not just Groundhog Day. How many of you guys are having that Groundhog Day moment? I certainly have had it lately.
Just one Groundhog Day or Groundhog Month? Or Groundhog Year?
Yes, Groundhog Year. Yes.
Yeah.
Groundhog Year is right.
It's not a whole lot different for me because I stay home anyway. I just want to go out when I want to go out, not when they want me to go out.
No, I understand. I mean, I understand. It's not even that so much for me. It's just that, it's just changed the way we live. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just different, right?
Yeah, it is different. I do know that my husband keeps telling me he's ready for a road trip, so that'll have to happen someday again.
Have they? Can you travel or no?
Well, we can travel. We are supposed to quarantine for 14 days when we get home, but he's essential worker, and I'm not really an essential worker. I just don't have to quarantine. I mean, I'm home anyway, is what I'm trying to say.
Right, I understand.
And so, but, all the restaurants in our town or our state are still closed. You can, delivery or pickup. And some of them have taken chunks out of their parking lots or on their sidewalks and made some outside dining, which is still available. But I'm not going to pay money to go outside and eat in 97 degrees.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah. It is hot. It's too hot for that.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to go outside and eat, it needs to be a lot cooler. And I can just bring it home. It's just as easy.
Yeah, I think, for all of us here, because the majority of all of our jobs, it is groundhog era. I agree with you, Julie. Most of our jobs, or most of the jobs that are here, are tourist driven. And because we have nothing open, we have a few local things that are open. But like, the reality is, if you don't have an income coming in from that, you're not going to be, you're not, you know what I'm saying? If you're not making your regular money, you're certainly not going to be going out to dinner.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
I
And
don't.
we're oil field, so we've taken a big chunk of loss in that. So, it is what it is. I can complain, but what good's it going to do me?
No, I know.
So,
No, I totally get it. I think for us, it's just nobody knows, and it's sort of everybody's just sort of waiting. You know what I mean? Everybody's just sort of like sitting and waiting and seeing when and if they're going to reopen our state and what that's going to look like. Like every day we get like some new thing where it says like, like this airline is no longer traveling here, and I understand why, because there's nobody traveling here, so it's not like. I mean, I'm sure they'll resume at some point, but
yeah.
it's one of those things that reminds you. It's just a reminder, and like, so for us, I never have felt prior to this. I never have felt like I was landlocked. Like I had never had island fever, is what they call it, but now I'm telling you, I definitely have some. The Shelley says they can't in Canada if they will not give you travel insurance. Wow. I hear you. I mean, and I'm not saying that for those that can do what they can do, not to do it. I'm just saying for us, we don't have a choice. We do not have a
Yeah.
choice. And there's not
Well,
anything you can do about it.
I'm a bit worried about my daughter and grandson flying home for a week. But I also know with his heart condition, her adamancy in what she's done and taking care of him, that she said she was going to take the biggest amount of hand sanitizer she could find that they would allow. So,
How
I
long
think,
is it for you?
huh?
What's the length of the flight?
I don't know. I'm not even sure. I mean, she's got it booked, but she hasn't told me. And she took the earliest possible, so there was less layovers.
Right. Well,
So,
that's awesome. I mean, I know for like, yeah, I know for like some people, it's like if we were to fly from Hawaii to the East Coast, it's a 13-hour flight, and generally you could do it with just one layover. Like you could fly from here to um, Los Angeles or Phoenix or Seattle or San Francisco, and then from there to the East Coast. But now they're not doing that anymore. Now they're like multiple legs.
yeah.
So Gina, I love what you're saying. They're multiple legs. So for us, it's just it's a lot. But plus, this is the problem for us is that like so my hottie was going to go see his dad who lives in Virginia from here. He lives in Northern Virginia, and he can get there, but he has to quarantine. It's a number of flights, and then he has to quarantine for 14 days when he gets there, and then whatever time he could spend with his dad, he can do that. But then he has to fly back and he has to quarantine 14 days when he gets home. And the problem is he would have to move out of our house to quarantine because we'd all have to be in quarantine. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
We'd all have to be in quarantine if he was here. So that means that my daughter couldn't go to work and it's like one of those things.
Yeah.
And then who do you have that's going to go to the grocery store for you? Who do you have that's going to do all that? So that's why we haven't just jumped up and traveled because it's like,
Yeah.
or done that. It's just been like, who has 28 days that they can quarantine?
Yes, exactly. Well, my husband just went to Kansas. Um, I don't know, a few weeks ago. And that's where my dad is. And we would usually split our time between the two towns. And I just chose not to go because I didn't want to fight the masks. I didn't want to fight the rules and the quarantining and all that. Well, he drove with his certificate from work that says he's an essential worker on the dash of my car the whole time,
Right.
And that's how he knew that I was serious about, I really thought I wanted to just stay home and not worry about it because I was home for a week with no car. So,
Well, but it's bigger than that. So say you had the same certificate as your husband does. Would you want to go knowing that you could be a carrier and give it to your dad?
absolutely, that was the
That's what,
first choice.
yeah, that's what we were both talking about. So I said to him, I said you could be an asymptomatic carrier. We don't know enough about it, and it would kill both of us if one of us went and gave it to his dad and something happened to his 80-year-old dad.
Yeah.
We would
Well,
both be
and
just.
when my grandson comes down, I intend to stay home for 2 weeks before he gets here, so that I don't have a chance of having something and bringing it, him getting it from me.
I hear you.
Because for him, even though he's only 11, it's fatal.
Because he has a heart condition.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I get it.
but he went to the doctor today and got his shots, and they said it was fine, that he would do okay. So I hope so.
No, I'm sure he'll be fine. We're going to just keep him smothered in white light, and he's just going to breeze through and be just absolutely okay.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't. I don't know. I mean, we were talking that because in some areas where we have family, there's not as strict of a quarantine as we have here, and just having that conversation with them about not wanting to expose them. I mean, as my partner said, he's going to have to fly through 3 or 4 airports. Where it used to just be like 1 or 2, right? The one that
Yeah.
the one here, the layover one, and then the one where he lands. Well, now because they changed the rules, it's going to be a whole bunch of different ones, and it's like adding more to it. So he just was like, it's not worth it.
No, it's not.
His mom just had open heart surgery. She just had some major open heart surgery. And we were both talking about it. He's just like, he's like, it's just not. He goes, I would die if I gave either one of my parents anything.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah. And that's kind of the issue with the masks, and I know people don't want to wear them, and I'm not trying to be controversial. It's totally what anyone wants to do, but I wear my mask because of the people I could give it to that I love, and it could be terrible for them. But with the same breath, I just don't like to wear the mask, so I stay home.
Oh, I got this really cool new mask. It came from Korea. And it's the first mask that I've had where I can wear my glasses and it won't fog them up.
Oh, wow. Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I have bifocals. And when I'm wearing them, the mask, it puts my bifocals in a different area. And so, say I'm at Hobby Lobby and I'm trying to shop and I have to keep grabbing my glasses and moving them around just to see. And it's just more work than I want to put into it. I don't need anything bad enough to do that. That's the way I look at it,
I hear you. Well, I don't go out that often either, but when I do, it's like being able to see out of my glasses and not have them fogged up. I was like, I made a bunch of masks. I have the real proper ones, that whatever they're called, PPE ones or all that. I have all that too. But I have to tell you, the one that I just got, I don't have it in here. I have it in my purse in the other room, but I would show it to you. It actually, like, I don't know how they've sewn it. It just leaves like a tiny space between the tip of your nose and right under your nose inside the mask, and it alleviates me from fogging up my glasses.
Awesome.
Well, it is when you can't see, when you're blind. You're
Yeah.
like, okay. You're like, okay, well, I guess I can't go anywhere because I can't wear a mask because I can't see out of it. Once I have it,
Yeah.
fogging my face up.
Well, and I just bought shields, the plastic shields.
I haven't done that, but I should. That would be a better
And
solution for me.
yeah, it was amazing. My hair looks funny, but that's okay. I can have funny hair.
Peggy says the fabric she bought at Aaron's auction is for masks. I wish I could say that's all my fabric was for, but it's not. But that's awesome. She has some great fabric. Oh my god, it was a detriment to go, right, Peggy? We spent way too much money on fabric, but it was cool. It was pretty cool.
Cool.
Some beautiful Christmas prints and I don't know all kinds of stuff. She had some good Christmas prints. Well, whenever you want to go, Miss, you let me know. We can quit anytime.
Yeah, I'm probably about ready. Get with Gary being home, we'll probably eat here in a little bit. He goes to bed so early because he gets up so early.
What are you gonna have for dinner? Did you cook or is he cooking?
He's cooking
Oh, good. What is he gonna cook? You have any idea?
tacos.
You're gonna have tacos too. Didn't Lynn have tacos?
Lizzie was saying tacos sounded good.
Tacos sound good. I thought wasn't Lynn having tacos for dinner too, or am I wrong?
No, she was having that thin beef with stuffing inside or something.
Oh, okay, that sounds good. I don't know what we're gonna have. We haven't even had lunch yet here, so I don't know what we're gonna have for dinner. Well, all right, my ladies, we love you. See you tomorrow at Claire's auction at 12 noon. Peggy said that Peggy served her husband tacos tonight. Peggy, you're awesome.
Awesome. Tacos. It's Tuesday. Taco Tuesday.
What is Taco Tuesday? Laura's telling me try cleaning my glasses with wipes for glasses, and it helps enough to it gives you enough time to shop. Oh, that's a great technique. I'll try it, Laura. Hey, girls, I'm going to say after I take a picture, you guys would be pretty much laughing because mine are fogging up. That just means I'm full of a lot of hot air, right? Anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you. We'll see you tomorrow at Kara's auction. All right, and here I'll put the channel in one more time. Hi, Lucinda. I'll put the channel in one more time for Kara's auction. You guys jump on over there and join. And I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys another day this week. Big hugs. Bye for now.
Bye. Thanks for coming.